it you guys?
Heavy procrastination. That's me.
I'm the paragon of saying horrible shit into microphones.
I'm the paragon of crippling anxiety.
Oh, I'm gonna say I'm Lou Gonzalez, and I'm the paragon of multiculturalism and minorities.
You know, I saw it coming. Yeah, maybe he'll swerve and do something different, and nope, you just lean right into the fucking turn.
No, that's what you got to do. You got to turn it into it.
We're like, how did this get played? Except we're already making fun of himself.
It's like
that's how bits work. You do it 3 times, it's funny.
You ever hit black ice when you're driving? Yeah. You're supposed to turn into it. That's what Lou's doing.
Right.
I'm the paragon of wondering why my body hurts despite knowing that my diet is terrible.
I'm also changing it to paragon of knowing where babies come from. It's the stork, guys. Come on.
It is a stork.
Right. Yeah.
I had to fight Erik for my paragon, so yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So the ancient one versus the tall king. I'd watch that fight.
if you were both on the show, like essentially what happened is the same thing happened between Luther and Wrath Superman. Like you just disappear, and he's like, "Ha ha!"
Yes.
Were you expecting anything different?
We're off to a bang up start, everybody.
Anyway, this is going to be our big important special Infinite Crisis. Anyway, that's it. Good night, everybody.
That's the fan. So bye.
Yep. All right. See ya. Fuck Exodus.
Special on Crisis on Infinite Earths. We haven't done Infinity Crisis yet as a live television special yet. That has not occurred. Although at the rate they're going, wouldn't shock me if they do.
Yeah.
Give it 5 years.
Oh, not
but it's funny. They've kind of covered more events in total between series arcs and crossovers that they kind of dwarf the movies at this point in many other ways.
They've also done a better job at character development than the movies have, but more on that in a little bit.
I mean, it's kind of crazy how like a smaller and I would argue like less funded like organization kind of just did what the movies wanted to do.
Right.
The really funny thing is there's people out there who are still like CW, and they fucking laugh at them.
Yeah, I think a lot of
they just don't realize that this pocket of shows has been allowed to get away with being like the geekiest, nerdiest, most self-indulgent comic book shows that are around. And I mean that in all good ways.
Yes.
Like they're allowed to revel in the fact that they are based on comic books and do stuff and use concepts and events and characters and stories that I don't like. That like Marvel's only covered like a few big things in the comics as far as like famous arcs, but the CW shows have gotten to like what was that Green House story called? Lockup or Supermax?
Yeah.
They got dual interpretation of Supermax. We got Flashpoint. We got the Reverse Flash arc, which is very close to the story. We
got Invasion. We got Crisis. We got an Elseworld story.
It's been very inclusive compared to, and this is something that I love and not hate, but I have problems with Marvel sometimes where they compress stuff. They will sort of squeeze things out and keep the aspects that they really like.
Well, the difference between a movie and having 2 hours and a television show, especially these ones that are 23 episodes.
22, 23.
So Arrow's been on for 8 seasons at 23 episodes, or 7 seasons of 23 episodes, and this one at 10.
Yeah.
That's
and the funny thing is, I think that the compression of Civil War actually made it a better story.
Right, and in some cases it's better, but there are some times where you think, well, the aspects they squeezed out, I don't think they're ever going to get a chance to do those again, and it hurts more in those very small particular cases. Where with this, they have the time to mess it up. That's really
it's hysterical that you said that, because my next thought was like, and they fucked up Flashpoint. At least they did it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but I think
at least they put effort in.
Right. Yeah, compared to Flashpoint, like I think I'll just say, because me and John did the comic show, we read Crisis. Crisis is 12 issues with 2 double-size issues. It is a long.
It's fucking huge. I remember it was the first big book I ever read when I was little, because I pulled it out of the a local library.
It's basically the first big book.
Yeah, and the big book itself is ridiculous. Like I remember looking at it going like, this will take me a long time to read.
And not just that, it's a lot of words. It's very wordy. As much as I like Marv Wolfman, it is very wordy, and
it's very exposition heavy.
Yes,
a lot of exposition.
There's a lot of people standing around going like Pariah's character amuses me because like his job is like any monitor's like, I found you, now go watch stuff, go sit there and just sit, bear witness. Right.
Like his job is
like,
to
woe is me, I tried for science. Oh no, I'm leaving again.
His job is to be sent from Earth to Earth and go, the tragedy. And
John, why is Pariah Mr. Burns?
I don't know.
Yes, the anti-monitor.
Release the hounds.
Yes. You're all gonna die now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna start with part 1 of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and at the end of it, we're gonna talk about all the extra stuff, like the fan servicey stuff, the cameos, the extra stuff that doesn't really tie into the plot, and where we rank this crossover among the current crop of. This is the fourth show. Okay,
I've lost
the fourth big one.
I think it's the fourth big one, but I think it's the fifth or sixth.
It's the sixth overall. It's the fourth big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first one was when Flash was on Arrow for a few episodes, right?
Yeah.
It was the Flash and Arrow, which basically, and that birthed, what do you call it, the Legends, right?
The Arrow thing, yeah.
That was the one after. That was the year after, where it was Arrow and Flash, and they sort of discovered the Legends in that episode. Yeah.
That's where Vandal Savage kills everybody, and Barry's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, the Legends season 1 finale.
That's where we find out about William.
Yeah, we meet one of the most underrated villains of all time.
To be fair, to be fair, when he was in the last season of Legends, he was a much better character in his one scene than the entire first season of Legends.
I don't know what you're talking about. He was always a great character.
I think I'm also thinking of the crossover where Flash shows up to save them all from some kind of prison, and Felicity goes, "Barry!" And Flash goes, "Thanks, Felicity, for giving me my identity to a supervillain."
Oh, that was because that's the end of Flash season 1, end of Arrow season 3, where they both did that, where Oliver helped kick Eobard's ass because fuck yeah, and then the return for that was Flash goes over and helps them out of a cage because that's a fair trade.
Oh yeah, that's when they have to super team up with
come fight this guy who could conceivably kill you in relatively no time. You can pay me back by opening a door.
Exactly.
I'm evil, by the way.
Hi, how are you? I'm evil.
So, part 1, there was a lot of speeches in this series of episodes. And
Connor, I was thinking of you when I rewatched this today because I was thinking it'd be really funny if the monitor opened up with the Testament from Doom, just like in the age of the beginning.
In the beginning,
they called it the Doom Slayer.
Heavy metal music starts playing.
The Doom Slayer that's going out tear through the multiverse.
I would love that.
But anyway, yes, part 1. There are quite a lot of speeches.
Yes, many speeches.
Well, I think we start off with it has all the cameos, and then we go right into they're not going to hold anything back. And Earth 38, which is Supergirl's, is it's dying now. And Argo, so we get Erica Durance's first appearance as Supergirl's mom, and then Argo, Superman, and Lois are going to explode, except they send their son away in a very.
I don't think it is her first appearance.
No, not Erica Durance. I mean, it's her first appearance in this crossover.
Oh, okay. I think I'm talking about in general.
Oh, no. She was in the season.
Yeah, she's been here before.
Yeah, she was in the season that we all were like, fuck this.
Yeah,
no thanks. We're done.
But I love, and it's one of the earliest things so Lois and Superman do the exact same speech from Superman 1. Word for word.
Oh, is that the exact same thing verbatim? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Verbatim as they put their son John
familiar. And sorry, everybody, my mic was being weird. Discord keeps telling me it's like, well, suddenly there's nothing here, and I don't know what to do about it.
Discord needs to calm down.
I thought it was such a genius way to open this up. With that, I was like, Oh balls! This is a way
It's
to
really
go.
Hang on.
strong,
I think
yeah.
we should. I know we should save the super fan servicey stuff, but I think just to get the tone and the shape of things to come is we should real quick talk about this fucking Batman thing and the opening of the of part 1, because like they kind of established real quickly that like they're like nothing doesn't count.
Well, yeah. So in this case, I think the fan servicey stuff. We agreed before. If it's plot centric, I think this is plot centric. It really establishes for those who maybe weren't watching Arrow that they are not pulling any punches and that they're just gonna take out entire universes.
The season premiere literally opened with Earth 2 going bye bye.
Right, and for the very few people who just don't watch all the shows or only watch the crossovers, I think that this was very effective.
Because we start off with, was it Earth 86?
Earth 89 and
89.
Yeah,
because they all correspond to years or dates.
Yeah, and reporter Knox from the 89 Tim Burton Batman movie, same actor whose name I forget,
Robert Wool.
There you go, is sitting there reading a newspaper and looks up at the sky and says, "Oh, I hope you're watching there, big guy." Like, and that's to an outsider, that's probably like who's familiar with that movie anyway. That's probably fucking earth shattering, because I don't think I truly think people underestimate the reach of this event.
Well, and if you look, I think this is where like the newspaper said like Batman captures the Joker,
and I think it's also Bruce Wayne marries Selena Kyle, something like that.
Yeah, and I guess he's referencing Superman in that moment, because Superman does exist in that world.
Well, no, I think he said, "I hope you're out there, big guy," because he looked up at the bat signal in the sky.
Oh, okay, I missed it. And then I think we go to what is it? We get the Earth X. I'm trying to think what else. Earth X is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The canaries from the Birds of Prey. Oh,
that's later on.
That's much later on. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember because it's like 3 right off the bat, isn't it?
We get Burt Ward. He's the last one before we go to
Earth 66. Yeah, the Batman.
Holy Crimson Skies of Death!
Holy Crimson Skies of Death!
Watching that again, that was very good. That was a great way to start this whole thing off. But like I said, I think it establishes everything you need to know about the stakes and how crazy things are gonna get during this
we literally don't pull any punches here. Is hey, guess what? You remember this thing? It's in it.
Right.
Yeah, and then they cut you Supergirl, Superman, and Lois, and all of Argo fucking die.
Yeah,
like immediately.
Yes. After like a brief little thing of Kara saving a Komodo dragon from itself, which was that was
a tie-in from an episode earlier in one of the other seasons.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's like a little girl who's an alien who can like project, like the Komodo dragon's her alien pet that protects her.
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
Oh, that's why it looks so familiar.
I had a feeling that was the context because she like grabs this like weird mutant lizard thing, throws it, and it turns into a Komodo dragon.
Yeah, so Hunter, you got your dragon. You
did get my dragon,
and that really worked with the whole all the pets in a square mile. That was.
I thought for sure when she picked it up, it was going to start talking.
That would be great.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
I love that. But we get the notification that Argo is what destroyed immediately, and the implication that Superman and Lois were too, because they don't show them getting off the planet yet.
No, we only know that they're
bodied.
Yeah. John Kent makes it off, and that's it.
Yes,
and then he gets sent into the multiverse, which becomes
accidentally.
Yeah.
Well, that's they're basically replacing Alexander Luthor's character from the book with John Kent, who we never see again, basically.
Mm.
I mean, we see again. It's just that Mick's taking care of him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And right away, like I think doesn't Harbinger show up, and Kara's like, "The fuck."
Yeah. Yes. Harbinger shows up and is like, "Here's Clark and Lois. I gotta go."
Yeah. I'll be right back, and then she comes back with Barry, Batwoman, Mia,
Sarah, and Ray.
Oliver,
and brings them all to Earth 30. And it's like, this Earth is fucked. Like, but we're gonna make our first stand here, and there's the giant tower gets built.
Harbinger's like, oh yeah, but that's been there the whole time.
I made it.
How? When? And we just kind of roll right into it because they're like, we need a plan. And then I can't remember what exactly they discuss doing, but shadow demons attack like immediately.
Yeah, Brainiac comes up with the plan that if they open up a portal with all the aliens on their Earth, they can like get them to put people on their ships and bring them to Earth 1.
And there are lots of aliens on Earth, apparently.
Well,
season
4
because
they've been there for years. Yeah. Brainy does a lot of heavy lifting in this first episode.
Yes.
Each episode has a certain side character that does a lot of the heavy lifting. And Brainy gets to do that this time.
Brainy and Ray's little interaction where Ray speaks science and Ray's like, finally, someone who gets it.
Oh yeah,
that stuff's always fun.
I will get more to Ray later because he does something in this crossover that made me giggle like a maniac.
Oh, well, he gets to do different things in each episode, which is awesome. This is also where we get the Lena side plot where she's building the thing, and they're like, it's like, why do you think I'm the bad guy? Of course I want to like save people. Like, fuck you guys.
Why do you think I'm the bad guy? Turns towards the camera.
The bad guy. And it's just going to a Billie Eilish song.
Right. God damn it, John.
Why would
I don't know what a Billie Eilish song sounds like, okay?
Why would I, Lena Luthor, the brother of the world's greatest
Why would I, Lena Luthor, the person who's been set up for 3 seasons?
Because it's the fucking CW, that's why.
To do a heel turn.
Yeah, if you're not
Why
watching
would I, Lena Luthor, the sister of Lex Luthor?
Yeah, if you're not watching Supergirl, like that's been like the whole thing where she's like, well, you just didn't tell me because you thought I was like him, so fuck you guys.
Yeah. Which,
I mean,
not a crazy position to take. Not a.
If I exist in the universe, I'd be like,
you just like put your arms out. You're like, I mean, like, do you blame me? Like,
look at him. Would you look at him?
That's right. Because I guess there was a subplot from Supergirl with Alex and Lena, and Alex is like, I know Carl lied to you, but like, I haven't. So why don't you trust me?
Yeah, because that was the tie-in from Elseworlds where Lena killed Lex, and then the Monitor brought him back, and then brought in John's brother.
Yeah.
And so, and then Lex told Lena like the secret. So she's like, "Oh, you've all known and all been lying to me from the jump."
John's brother, I should point out, is played by Phil Lamar, which was kind of a nice touch.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes, and then their dad was played by the guy
good at that, though.
who voiced Marsh Hunter on the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I actually forget what happens in between all this stuff, and most of this episode is just like evacuation, shadow demons.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oliver takes me aside. He's like, "I have something for you," and opens the little case, and there is her hood, basically.
There's a lot of character moment stuff, a lot of build up to this sort of battle at the Infinity Tower, I think they call it.
The
So
Chrono
have you
Tower.
guys watched the Aftermath stuff with Kevin Smith and like the after show?
Not yet.
Yes,
anyway.
but it's been a month.
Okay, so yeah, I remember on the first one she was on. I can't remember the actress's name, and she said that was the first thing they shot was her getting the Green Arrow costume.
Shit.
Oh,
that's
And
cool.
That's cool for her.
Yeah, she's like, it was a all that stuff is like real emotion. Because it was literally like, I'm leaving, you're taking this character role, here's your costume. She had not seen it yet. Like, that was the reveal to her.
Including this and the episodes leading into it, the Mia Smoke character is nowhere near as annoying as she was presented as initially, and the actress is getting better.
Well, I mean, that again, that's another thing CW is good at. She has very much taken a Wally-like trajectory for me, I know. Because anybody who remembers when he first came on to Flash season 2, he was annoying. I
like fast things. Look to the camera.
I like to go fast.
I
like fast things, and Barry, you're a dick.
Yeah, there's only one character that they haven't really fixed, and she doesn't show up till next episode.
Okay, when you did that, I got flashbacks to Sassy Cisco for a minute.
Hey, Cisco? That's stupid.
Why would you say that?
You're dumb.
Why would you even suggest that?
Remember my brother?
Oh, Cisco, you're really ripping into me.
Everything this is stupid.
But yeah, she's a lot better.
I think
we didn't get. Kind of weird that we didn't get more of William and John Diggle Jr.
No,
Yeah,
they
that was odd.
they hand waved them away.
They were sucked from the future too. Where'd they go?
I think they got left in the ANU.
They're just like,
suck.
hey, where did Dad and Mia go? Where's the boat?
Oh no, wait, they left with Roy and everybody else. Like they went off into the
which
Right.
again, he's another character who didn't show up. It's like, well, I guess he's only got one fucking arm now. So
yeah, they
can't
finally
Well,
committed the
what's he
Arsenal
gonna do?
phase.
Well, and with Arrow characters, they
gun.
kind of all got their goodbyes in Arrow, so I kind of understand that.
It was only those 3 characters. Everybody else got to show up at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because basically all that happens is they're fighting to protect the tower, and then they're evacuating people. Barry learns about the deal, and then they lose their position.
That was great, by the way. The whole where what was it? It was world's fastest man alive, late for the crisis we've been preparing for years. Not really a good look there, Barry.
Yeah. That was good.
Hey,
that was
That
really
line,
good.
and then when Barry tells him, "Hey, I'm supposed to die," Oliver's like, "Nope. Hey, you in the sky? We need to talk now."
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. He demands another meeting with what's his
Monitor,
name?
yeah.
Marvo.
Yeah,
Marnovu.
Marnovu.
Yeah.
There
I'm
we go.
gonna miss Stephen Amell having the like best like spitting out lines, like so just like direct to the point, like I die, not that.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
he curls
he's
his
so
lip in
intense.
anger.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's really good. His scenes with Marnovu are always good. I don't know why. They really work together.
Well,
on
it's
screen.
because Amel is very believable when it comes to telling a god to go fuck himself.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
LaMonica is a fucking giant human being.
Yes, he is. I also really like
Yeah.
that dude as an actor. Even though he's not really like his range is very limited, but he gets like cosmic deity across very well.
Well,
Yes.
he was also in that thing, and he talked about like, oh, he's a nerd. He's read comics his entire life. So when he auditioned, he went and bought Crisis to read.
He didn't
before
know he was getting the Monitor. He had no idea. They didn't.
Yes, and then he didn't know that he was getting the Anti-Monitor. He said, and then when they told him that, he went back and reread Infinite Crisis again to
That's great.
to do Anti-Monitor.
Fantastic. But yeah, this kind of all rolls into a big climactic battle where Shadow Demons, which by the way are basically putties,
Mhm.
they are worthless. But I guess the idea is just like just send 1 billion of them and they'll just keep everybody fucking busy.
Well, that's what they are in the comic, and the joke is, which I like, is that they were Marv Wolfman giving Perez a break at drawing. Because they're just
fair.
like in the comic, they're literally just like black outlines.
That's
Well, I
all
mean,
they are.
I think they gave the CW CG artists a break as well. So, like, yeah.
Oh
sure.
yeah, like when I rewatched the later episodes, and it's like, oh, they're all in the sky. I was just like, oh, this is like one thing, and it looks like the background that somebody did this on like Apple
Yeah.
Movie.
They copy and pasted those sprites just
Yes.
many times. And just
Go fight these fucking Death Eaters.
But I actually like the design of them because they're kind of
Yeah.
like the Black Flash meets a Death Eater.
yeah,
Kinda
or
time
even the
racy.
race, the time race. Yeah.
That's what I meant, the time race.
designs.
Yeah, they work. They definitely work. Yeah. So this kind of leads into my big criticism of this whole crossover is I think that the action scenes are not great for a lot of it.
I think
I think
Anybody else
they finally
feel
decided
similar?
like, hey, let's not emphasize the action sequences and let's emphasize the scale and the stakes. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what the philosophy was.
I think
think
the
that's the
reason for
idea.
that, to me, is the Batman problem, which is
Right.
how do you deal with just, and again, it's like the show. It's like you have 6
Mhm.
characters, like 3 of them are just like people with bows and arrows and guns. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are they supposed to do?
If you have a gun, you're unstoppable in this universe.
Well, even that doesn't bother me as much as, and this is later on in the crossover when we get to episode 4 and it's just Ryan Choi like
The screwdriver is
pushing
kicking ass.
them. It's
I
like,
literally, I was
okay.
watching that. I was like, what is he doing? Is it because he's Asian? He knows kung fu now? Like, what?
And here's-
Excuse you, we all know the real
I
hero, Wild
understand-
Dog shooting at a
Yeah.
force
Well,
field.
it goes okay. The
Right.
power ranking for weapons in this universe: it's screwdrivers, guns, bow and arrow, and swords.
And speedster
Yes.
hands at the top.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Oh well, what about like Sarah's like lance of division that she has?
I guess
Uh-huh.
that too. That fits in there
And
somewhere.
I think the necklace that gives you the screeching power, that's also pretty high up there.
What about the scary
Um,
helicopter noise? Does that do anything?
That announces
no,
impending threat.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, in Pokemon, the status effect moves. That's what that is.
Also, I will
Yes.
say the hands to the chest hasn't missed yet.
Nope.
That's true. That's true.
Very, very difficult to dodge.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it has more casualties than any other weapon in this series.
It does. More confirmed casualties. Its
Yeah.
percentage is very high. But on the Rancho thing, I understand time is like they don't have a lot of it, but I don't know, like having him like build something in the vanishing point, that'd be
Yeah.
enough for me.
I think the thing like they're waiting to do a origin
Right.
story as him as the new Adam for Legends.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah, and I
assuming.
get that. Yeah, I
So-
bet he's Adam by the end of the season, I assume.
I would
If not-
assume so with Ralph leaving,
Yeah.
and hopefully they give him like a not Iron Man knockoff suit, and like just
Yeah.
give him the belt.
I mean, I've been saying for years, just a t-shirt and like a duster, and like that's all he needs. He doesn't need a big Iron Man suit. It's just
No.
looks silly.
Just give him like,
Or
If they go the Injustice 2 design, where it almost looks like it looks like some you wear in a hazardous materials like environment. Like it's got this.
That'd be
this-
cool. Yeah.
like a
Like-
dome. Like it's
Yeah, before
kind
that.
of like the Ant-Man thing, but like it covers the whole face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like once in some looks he has like a visor, and in some cases it's just like it's completely open, or it almost looks like it's got shades of the old cringy Mega Man box art.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's better looking.
It's way better looking.
yeah.
He doesn't have he has an atomizer, but it's not like
hmm
it's
He
not,
also gets cool little sci-fi guns too.
Yeah. Make him look like Mega Man. I'm always for that. Just make him look like Mega Man.
You know what? If they make him look like Mega Man, I'm in. I'm for it.
But Ryan Choi is not in this until later on.
4 months later. Let's get
This
to
is where
part
we
one.
get like
Months later.
everybody splits up for some reason. I can't remember why it is, because like the Shadow
Well,
Demons
they're-
attack.
The Shadow
Well, a
Demons
monitor
attack-
comes in and
The
brings
tower
them back,
doesn't
yeah.
no the tower doesn't like work. The tower goes down, so Superman and Supergirl go up to
Yeah.
the top to fix it while everyone fights on the ground. Then everyone's
Mhm.
fighting on the ground. Then Monitor's like, "Yep, nope, we're fucked. Everyone get back right now." And
Yeah.
then everyone leaves, and
No, he poofs everyone away.
he puts everyone
Except-
away except for one.
yes.
Ollie's like, "Don't
Except-
you fucking poof me."
He's like, don't poof me,
Has the
motherfucker.
planet
I'll
been
put,
evacuated? Not really. Then don't poof
I
me.
I will put an arrow in your eye. I've done it before. I can do it again.
Yeah, he's
Um,
like, "I will shoot you," and he's like, "Monitor's like, okay." I'll just
He's like,
With
"I'll
what?
shoot
Oh, a paralyzing arrow. You're good.
And then he
Mhm.
just
like,
like
just
until,
stand here.
until no more, and then he just runs at them.
Dude,
Yes.
he's just like, oh, he's got a bow and arrow. That's right below guns.
Now, if I didn't know where this was going, the following event was incredibly deflating.
Yeah.
Because Oliver
Uh,
essentially they don't show it on screen, and when you hear about it like later on, it sounds ridiculous because it's like
Mhm.
Oliver Queen sat and fought a bunch of shadow demons for hours and hours until 1 billion people were evacuated.
I don't think it's hours. I think he's there for like 10 minutes, but like that's all
Yeah.
they need. So I feel like each of those ships is carrying like hundreds,
Right.
thousands of people.
He's just
I
punching people
imagine-
left and right.
Yeah. And I imagine Rainy's ship is like future tech, so it's maybe bigger on the inside or something like that.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like he's only there for like 5 minutes because they're like, "Where's Oliver?" And then like 2 minutes later, Monitor's like, "Here's Oliver," and he's leaving.
Here's Oliver,
Found
his
him.
corpse.
Under a
Yes.
pile of shadow demons.
Remember your friend Oliver? Here he is.
Yeah.
But he comes in seemingly having been beaten to basically death by these things, which is
Mhm.
I'm glad they didn't show it to me because I wouldn't have believed it because those things are just basically air with cloaks.
Yeah.
They look like the Mentors.
Dude,
Oh,
they
they,
look-
yeah, they look like Dementors.
that's
They're
what it
very
was, not Deku.
Dementor-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Oliver has he starts speechifying as he's dying, and man, that guy can really talk for a dead man.
It's okay.
Everything's fine. Barry, you're the greatest fucking person I've ever known. Everybody else line up. I have dramatic things to say before I...
And then you just hear a loud, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Is it Deadpool where he keeps on talking and not dying or something? Yeah, it was like that.
He's like, oh, the sun's so bright.
Yeah.
Great film.
There's a Mission Science Theater episode where they watch a black and white dubbed stage version of Hamlet, and by the time Hamlet is about to die, I think Servo is just going, "All right, boo, boo, you're dead, boo, you're dead, boo."
Die already.
Yeah, and then Oliver Queen seemingly dies, and that's how the episode ends. Well, not seemingly, he's dead.
He's
dead.
He's 100%
only
dead.
mostly dead.
Mm-hmm.
Only
Funny,
his
I make
body.
that reference because he essentially does become the Man in Black for a little while. He just gets fucking dragged around by everybody.
Yeah.
He's Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes, they put glasses on him and they're
Mia, jog his memory.
He just moves his arms around like.
Sorry,
no problem.
Diggle, I didn't mean to jog his memory so hard. Move on to part 2, and I believe after they get off, this is them evacuating Earth 38, isn't it? Or Earth 38?
No.
It's
They've
destroyed by
already
the end.
evacuated Earth 38. It's Sarah is like having a drink with Kate and Kara to remember Oliver.
Yeah. And Barry can't stand it. He's one step away from going back in time and trying to do it.
Shit! Did we miss? Wait, hang on. Did we miss the
I will
whole
flashpoint
Earth?
this motherfucker.
Wait. Did we miss the whole Sarah goes to Earth 16 or whatever?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
it's this one.
Oh, was it this one? I thought it was the next one.
Yeah, episode 2 is where like we have like 3 different groups like going to different places.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's-
Okay, yes.
it's-
Yeah, Sarah does go
Three is
there.
much easier to break down event by event.
No, wait, no, Sarah goes back. No, Sarah goes to 2046 in the last one.
Yeah, that's what I
Because-
was saying.
Yes. Okay, so we do need to talk about Sarah going to meet with that other Oliver whose Sarah is dead. I mean, that basically
to
sums
go
it
get
up.
the baby. Yeah,
Yes, that's the thing that we missed.
she goes to Earth 16, 2046, and it's the Earth from season 1.
essentially,
Legends.
yes.
No,
Yeah.
it's straight up like it is that.
They say that, but I don't. I still don't buy it. A lot of it's very different. He doesn't remember her.
I doesn't remember
that's why
her.
I think the
yeah.
whole thing that I had to take away is there is a really nice touching moment between Sarah and Oliver that kind of summarizes their whole relationship from the last 8 years or so.
Yeah, and it works because she gets to sort of say goodbye to Oliver on her own, in her own scene, despite the fact that in the next scene he dies before she even gets to say anything to him, really. So it's a very effective thing that they did there. But also it's a good reason for her not to be involved in the fight and be another person who's just like swinging things at ghosts.
It's like Death Stranding minus throwing your own shit.
Yeah, you're throwing your shit and piss at ghosts.
Yeah, so episode 2 is when like, the rest of the legends are unavailable, so they have to go to Earth 74, where it's the Mick, a different Mick, and then instead of being what is the ship's
Gideon?
name?
Instead of Gideon, it's Leonard Snart.
Yeah,
Yes.
which was an awesome thing. I
That's
thought that
a
was
great
so
way-
I
good.
did
Yeah.
not pick up on that.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that.
that was Wentworth Miller reprising his role with Leonard Snart.
Because it's
And
like we
he's
can't
such
get him back for a full episode, but yeah.
Well, it's like he didn't want to do that character, and then he did the Earth X version. It's like, what if we make you a sassy bitch of a computer? Okay, I'm down.
He's like, yes.
Personally, I love Mick's Wave Rider is one of my favorite comedic bits because he's just been living in it for God knows how long. And there's
they
just
also-
beer bottle and garbage everywhere.
Well, yeah, because he's sitting there, he's trying to write a romance novel, and he's the failed version of that Mick.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he's like, when they find him, he's like trying to write something, and it's really bad.
This is why Legends is my favorite show of the DC universe. On the CW.
Well, it's the show that's like this all the time. They're just embracing it in every moment, not just occasionally. Yeah.
But this is where the monitor's like, you have to find the Paragon.
Yeah. Which
And
follows up something from the first episode of the season of Arrow, which is interesting that they really laid that in early.
The dwarf star particles.
Well, no, because the opening speech from Arrow, we're going to talk about Arrow a lot in this. From Arrow season 8 is the Monitor, remember, and he's talking about heroes, but there's some who are above heroes. They're called paragons. So this was just following up on that thread that was laid like episodes ago.
That's right.
Yeah, and he says he knows 4 of them, which is Kara's Hope, Sarah's Destiny. There's a Superman that is Truth. They don't know who that is.
There's a Bat of Courage. A
Bat
of Courage.
Bat of the Future.
Bat of the Future.
I was really, really hoping to God they were going to do Batman Beyond.
Yeah, that would.
But like, I like what we get when we get to it.
I do too. But I also kind of wish. I do too. But I also kind of wish it was also Batman Beyond at points.
Yeah, but this is where we get the 2 teams split up because it's Sarah, Barry, and Mia and Constantine are trying to revive Oliver. Yeah. And then the other group is Clark, Lois, and Iris are trying to find the other Superman. And then the third group is Kate and Kara trying to find the Bat.
Yeah, and I don't remember what order they go in, but
they kind of jump around because I know with the Superman ones, we see the first one they go to because this is where they like are introduced that Lex is alive and he's on the ship and like the Monitor's like, oh, we need his mind. He's like the blah blah blah.
And Kara's like, yeah, I'm Paragon of Hope. Fuck you.
Yeah, and then he grabs the Book of Destiny and pieces the fuck out.
Yeah, I think that's. I think the Superman thread is sort of a good thread to start with.
Because we start like hardcore, which is the thing they leaked, which is the death of Superman. So we get to see that image better than we got to see in the movie.
Yeah.
I
mean, they recreate a panel from not even a panel. It was like a spread. Yeah. Right.
It's the exact image with the cape across the bar with the S. And since we know our Clark and Lois, and it's the same actors, it has a shit ton of weight.
Yes.
And they're seeing it themselves, and they're like, "Holy shit!" Like he's taking the book and he's just murdering Superman.
And then we go to they arrive on another Earth, specifically
somewhere Alan pops the biggest boner he's ever had in his whole life.
I kept making the joke in the months beforehand where Alan's literally off to the side on that set, just yelling "Somebody save me" on top of a pile of WWE 20 or something.
He's just singing it.
No, he's not singing it. He's like yelling and singing it at the same time.
Yes.
But I love the lines that they have, though.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, for me being the Smallville curmudgeon that I am, this scene was awesome, and they gave people who followed Smallville long enough like a semblance of closure. And I know some people hated it, and some people loved it. And honestly, I can't see why you would hate it.
Yeah. Well, Tom Welling got a lot to do.
Yeah, there's a comic book and it gets rid of all that canon. But he was like, I was only coming. This is the only way I would have come back was like something like this. He's like, I was not coming back to play Superman.
I just love the whole idea of I love the John Cryer and Tom Welling scenes together where John Cryer just holds up the kryptonite, Tom Welling just takes it, looks at it, and then shucks it.
Yeah.
Well, he's just like, aren't you Clark Kent? They're like, oh, so no, he says like, oh, it's so strange that Clark Kent is Superman on this world. I can't imagine mine being Superman. He's such a wimp. Or he says something like
he
that.
Can't see over his glasses.
Yeah. And I love Iris and Lois have like a great line. It's like, do you think that's him? Well, it's either that or he's the brawny man. Jesus, like Jesus Christ.
You love the tease for him giving him his powers though, because as he's chopping wood, he's got gloves on and he's swinging 2 arms, and Tyler Heckler Superman's like, I can do that with one bare hand.
Yeah, well, I think it's like, I love he's just like looking at his wife and Iris like, I'm literally right here.
I'm right in between you 2 idiots.
Yes.
Luther quickly sends them away. But yeah, like the closure is that this version of Clark gave up his powers, I assume via gold kryptonite. And had a bunch of kids and married his Lois. It's
pretty cool.
A very nice ending for a superhero story, especially for Superman, who's constantly under the microscope of responsibility.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor's befuddled by all this because like you were a god, and then the whole time Tom Welling's just like, I don't miss these chats. Like,
I love how Tom
Yeah.
Welling is not willing to put up with anything he says in the moment he
Yeah.
gets there, and he just looks annoyed and exhausted the entire time.
Well,
he has
says
to
lines
talk
too.
to.
He's like, I did not miss these chats.
So good.
And he's
It
like,
works.
he's like, I'm Lex Luthor.
and then
He's like,
and then
"You're
John
the
and then Lex
president."
Luthor is just like, you took the fun out of it. All right, I'll go do something else now.
Yeah, I like Erica Durant.
Yeah.
Erica Durant's line when she comes out, she's like, "Oh, were you talking to someone?" He's like, "Yeah, some alternate dimension Lex Luthor, something about the multiverse like being destroyed." And she's like, "Oh, it took you 20 years, but you finally made a joke, Smallville." And then they get erased.
The whole scene was very, very nice.
Yeah. Also, just I can see why Rosenbaum kind of because I don't know how they would have fit him in here. Like,
see, if we want to talk about like one, he had a whole bunch of shit going on in his life.
yes,
I think that I don't know if they would have had him play Lex. I think they would have had him play
right.
Wally from the animated series.
Probably. I think that would be the better idea. Because if it's him as Lex, like, how do you even fit him in? Is he on the TV in the background? Do the two Lexes talk to each other? And I don't actually think that would be that interesting.
Oh, they wouldn't have done it. That would have been like the whole villain subplot in the Crisis comic all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crossover all itself. Like,
and they're also like
that.
there are such different looks at that character. Like they could not be more opposite.
I think if they were going to do that, now is not the time.
Now, this is like, if you're going to do two Lexes teaming up, that is its own crossover.
That's like a smaller crossover. Like,
which I would be into if they're going to do another.
No, I don't even like Smallville, and I kind of want to see that.
Yeah. Because Rosenbaum, his Lex is so like cool and calm and collected, and it's just very different.
He's more like sociopath, like serial killer, like charming serial killer. While the other one, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Jon Cryer.
Jon Cryer's more like a what's his name, but like Helter Skelter serial killer,
like Charles Manson.
Charles Manson, where he's just bouncing off the goddamn walls. But he's also charismatic at the same time in a weird way.
Yeah, very different, but it would be interesting.
He's Ducky, dude. It's Jon
if
Cryer.
they give them the time. Yeah.
No, guys, it's not Ducky.
He's Lenny Luthor.
He's Lenny Luthor from Superman 3.
No, it's Ducky.
Which technically it's a good segue to the third place that we go to, which is that Earth, technically. Because it's the Superman Returns / Christopher Reeve Superman Earth.
I do wonder. I wonder how much it is. I wouldn't be. I think you're correct that like a lot of those events probably did happen on that Earth.
Yeah.
Well, no, they mentioned his son Jason, which was in Returns.
Yeah. No, it is 100% the Superman Returns Earth. It's whether or not that is still the Reeves Earth, I think, is the difference now.
I think. Well, it's hard with a floating timeline and all these things. We have to assume that some of Superman 1 through 4 happened in the Returns Earth. I don't know if it is fully the Returns Earth. Like, I don't think they're telling us that. Was it Rachel McAdams? Not Rachel McAdams.
No, it was Kate
Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth.
Yeah, Kate Bosworth.
I don't think that even if she was alive, that would have been Kate Bosworth or the same character.
Because online it says it is Earth 96.
Yeah, they've pretty much they've gone out of the way to say, "Yep, that's it." And like I think even Ratha said, "Like I love jumping back into this universe." They just made him older and had a bunch of terrible things happen to him.
It is fucking dark. But they also do a great job of explaining that costume that I don't think has ever been done before.
Yeah,
because it's like, it's really it's a symbol for hope and it's cutting through the darkness. And I was like, holy shit, that's poetic.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, it's closest we've gotten to a live action version of the Fleischer symbol, so I loved it.
So I love how we got the whole what was it? The whole like we find out what happens to Perry and to Jimmy and to
I was gonna get to that in a second because it is so close to the Injustice setup that it made me giddy because then like they went in the I love how they plan it. It's actually kind of they do it for both Clark and Bruce, except they take the character in the opposite direction they were in the source material. But they maintain the idea of having terrible things happen to them. And I mean, it's in Injustice, for those who don't know, the setup is that Joker manages to trick Superman into murdering Lois because he poisons him with Scarecrow toxin, and then he nukes Metropolis and kills millions of people. So then Superman finds him in a prison cell and puts a hand through his chest. See, it doesn't miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Nobody
was debating this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how defensive he's getting. Like, no one is arguing.
I was excited. I wasn't defensive. I was like, see, another example of it just not missing.
Connor, did you kill a man?
Ask questions, Hunter.
The next day, we're
just
gonna see
hear a
Hunter's.
buzzing
The next day, we're gonna see Hunter on the news, just like Hunter was killed with a hand through the chest.
There's never a Hunter Davenport on the show.
A very tall man in.
He went full force on someone in the desert in a knife fight.
The tall king has fallen.
Yeah, so it's implied. Yeah, that what happens is Joker stormed the Daily Planet and gassed the whole building.
Yeah, and I like how they dance around the name Joker in that. He's just like, yeah, one of my colleagues, villains, decided he got bored where he was from in Gotham and came here.
The reject from
Gotham City reject. Yeah,
so good. Yeah, and it's and that's something that's really great.
Yeah, and then Lex shows up.
Other villains.
And mind controls him, and we get Superman.
Yeah, we get our second Superman versus Superman fight in 2 years in this network.
Yeah, we get a Man of Steel fight, basically.
But you know what is really cool about it is the fucking music choices in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And the hero isn't Superman; it's Lois.
Yeah,
because Lois is who.
Because I was getting his ass kicked.
Oh, he's a foot shorter than Brandon Routh.
That's great.
No, not even that. There's a whole scene right before the credits. It's right when Lex changes Superman to fight Superman, and Brandon Routh just looks at the camera before he dashes off. And I swear to God, it's like a serial killer ready to go after his prey or something.
Yeah,
and I also love I love whatever they did to his eyes. It's contacts with also CG in him. To make them that blue was insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then Lois talks him down and they knock him out and they travel to and then do you want to go to the Batman?
Well, I just wanted to know and this is something I said in the chat weeks ago. They really established why a show about Lois and Clark would be a good idea and why that would be a worthwhile thing to do with Lois in this crossover.
And I'm so glad they're doing it.
Yeah. And I also said in the chat, just call it Lois and Clark. Just do it. Just fucking do it.
I only say I don't know if they can because that was already a show.
Yeah, but they own it.
They own it. It's on. If it's on the DC Universe app, you don't have to worry about any kind of copyright or
And that is the most forgotten Superman live action thing of all time.
I think that's why you do it though, because nobody.
I don't think that show is also very good.
No, it's not. And
nobody's gonna care if you take that name and.
I mean, I like the show.
They were both in Supergirl too, so it's not like they haven't already homaged them.
Right. So it's just do it. Just unless they have a better title somehow, but I don't think.
The Super Adventures of Lois Lane.
And if it's just a show about Superman, this is what I've been saying for years. Why do it? It's not going to be that different from Supergirl. Unless if it's really about them.
I want it to be about them and their home life.
Yeah.
Which gets discussed when they have a talk later on because he's oh, we have John.
I want to see Superman still believing in Santa Claus.
Yes. Yes.
You mean
Give us
Santa
that.
put them under?
Santa wrapped these.
Right, exactly. But yeah, his interactions with Lois and their relationship is very believable and just a very subtle domestic home life show. I would actually watch that because they made that work. They sold that very well. And occasionally an alien shows up and they have to take care of that. Why not?
Across the planet and Lois is oh, Clark.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better if we jump to the Sarah Berry thing because it's so short.
Yes.
So, that team goes, they're looking for a Lazarus pit, and they go to Earth 18. Yeah. And they meet shithead Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Yeah, asshole Jonah Hex before he got the scar.
They meet a Jonah Hex, and Sarah kicks his ass.
You were gonna get
and then she's
eventually.
"Oh well, you're gonna get these scars eventually anyway," and just mutilates his face and sends him on his way.
So good.
Yeah, and they dip. Oh no, the universe gets destroyed before they can drop Oliver in, I think.
They drop
they
him
do
in
drop
because
him
then he
in,
wakes
but
up and he's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah."
yeah. Well, yeah, he's like all Frankenstein out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And then we have Kate and Kara, Earth 99.
Mm-hmm.
And they go knock on a very ugly-looking mansion. And was this Lucius's son? Is that who's on Batwoman?
That's yes,
Luke
it's
Fox.
Luke. Yeah, Luke.
And there's a really funny. This is something I didn't catch on. But there's a really funny little back and forth between Kara and Kate, where Kara's like, "Is that an Earth One villain?" And Kate's like, "No, that's my only friend." And Kara's like, "Oh, well, he's cute." Kate's
Except
like,
that
"Nope,
Luke,
nope, don't need
except
to see
Luke
that."
looks like a fucking cocaine dealer when he opens the door.
He
Okay,
does.
snakeskin shirt that's open, like a double barrel, and like jean shorts or some shit. Like,
Which
He looks
because they
like-
dress him the exact opposite of Batwoman. In Batwoman, he's a
character
mega
when he
nerd.
opens-
Yeah, he's very made up. He's well coiffed. Yeah, he looks a lot like Klaus from Umbrella Academy when he opens that door.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
agree with
and
the
they walk
sentiment.
in, and the place is kind of it's not in shambles, but it's obviously not very well maintained, and like there's no sign of
Also,
Alfred.
I'm 90% sure that this is the same house / mansion from Smallville that all these
Are you
things
sure?
fucking use.
it's the same one.
Wait,
How first of all,
Wait, you sure it's not Queen Manor?
There's never been a precedent for this. How dare you even think of that?
Yeah,
I
there's
just like
never
every time they
reused
show
that.
it, I'm just like, oh, it's a thing. It's that.
Never seen the
it's
same
clear-
staircase on the CW
it's-
16
yeah.
times.
But,
It's clearly the nicest house in Vancouver, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna use
well,
that."
it's
house."
in other things too. I think it's in one of the X-Men. It's the X Mansion.
It might be. Yeah.
I could see
It's like
that.
how that cabin in Avengers has been in like 3 different movies.
Oh,
Which one?
The cabin in Endgame is in like
Oh, yes.
Jurassic World and stuff
Oh,
like
what
that.
was it? What was the other thing? Oh God, now I have to remember this. I was watching something, and yeah, some TV show, where they were using that same cabin. Yeah, it's crazy. Because it's just a cabin in Atlanta, and a cabin. Go there. That's why Lexi Rabe is also in another movie. Something like that. Yeah. Anyways.
So after a bit of back and forth, they walk in the house, and we hear RoboCop sounds in the staircase.
Yes. Ed
Oh,
209.
no. First thing we do is hear "It's okay, Luke." I'm like, wait, there he is.
Yeah.
yeah, it's that awesome voice. Which that voice,
For $75, you can get that voice on Cameo.
Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
Need the money? Like he's Kevin Conroy. He's
No.
been working consistently since 1990. Like,
he has like the craziest. I believe he was roommates with Robin Williams when they were in Juilliard.
Dude, he was
Yeah,
like
he
talking
knew
about
Robin.
how he knew like Robin Williams and like he had another story.
He's part of like this crazy like group of actors that went to Juilliard at the same time. It's insane.
It's like Robin Williams. There's another big name in there. I forget what it is.
Yeah, and he talked about on the Crisis Aftermath like how he even got that job, and he said it was basically by accident. And or for this, that he was hanging out with a friend who like just happened to be going out to dinner with like Greg the next day with Berlanti, and was like, "Would you do something for this?" And he's like, "Shit, yeah." And he's like, "All right, I'm seeing him tonight."
Seems to be a lot of that going on involving these cameos, where someone's like, "Can you want to do this? Or can this happen?" And someone's like, "Yeah, of course. Why do you have to ask?"
That's why like I feel like the Nick Cage thing just never got to him. I just feel like it never.
He was probably incredibly drunk when the phone call came through.
Yeah, he was too busy. He's too busy signing the papers to star in National Treasure 3.
Honestly, he was. The
I
truth
love
is,
that
he
series
was
of
probably
movies.
busy with something related to Colorado Space because the timelines.
No, I was gonna say he was busy making a chainsaw battle axe and fighting demons.
No, he just does that now.
I mean, all of these things are possible. He could have also been starring in another film where his sidekick is a CG cat, because that's a film that exists.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
Well, he's in. There's so many of those. It's like,
wait, what movie is
film.
this?
There's a movie where it's him on a boat, and he has a panther who's his friend, who's like he's been raising this panther, and the panther gets out. and starts killing these poachers that are on the boat.
CG cat. Here's the thing: when you said CG cat, my mind immediately went to cartoon cat.
Right,
See,
you
my
thought
mind
like
went
Nine
to-
Lives or
See,
something.
my mind went to when was Nicolas Cage in a Garfield movie?
Oh, see, I went to because maybe this is my age.
I
I
hate
went to
Mondays.
Nicolas Cage in a music video for with MC Scat Cat,
Yes.
doing like
Yeah.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
I think that was 100 shot as well. Yes. Anyways, God, where were we? Yeah, Bruce.
Bruce shows up,
He's
and then
doing
Kara
stuff.
separates with Luke, and she's kind of hanging out in like the lounge or something. And then
She goes into the library and it's like, "Oh, what is this case of stuff?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of reveals as the conversation between Kate and Bruce goes on. And Bruce says he's like, yeah, Kate's been dead on my Earth for years. So who the fuck are you?
Yeah. He brings up Clayface and some of.
He brings up like a ton of character, and he's just like, he's like, at some point, I think he actually says that her death is the catalyst for what him going
Yeah, it
off.
made him start to relax on his own code, and then like fucking Kevin Conroy breaks into this short monologue. He's like, Kate, let me tell you something. He's like, after you kill the first person, it gets really easy, and then you kill another, and then you kill another, and then you kill another, and then you start enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the more he talks, it's revealed that this Bruce Wayne is an absolute fucking monster who relishes in the thought that he killed his enemies. And then Kara is in the lounge and she's looking at the shelf full of these like trophies, and there's bloody glasses. Yeah. And she's like, "Who are those?" And Luke's like, "Who do you think?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bruce straight up says like, "Oh yeah, I totally killed Superman too."
And
the implication
he's an alien. He's an alien god from another planet. What did you expect me to do?
And the implication with the glasses that fucking Bruce attacked him while he was dressed as Clark, which is super shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he spoke like Clark with such contempt here, because he's usually like Clark.
It's one step above like the Dark Knight Returns way of speaking, where there's no respect for him left. Where in that he still had just a little bit. I
just had a very fun thought pop in my head. So in Flash, imagine if we get Red Death, but it's Barry's body, but Kevin Conroy's voice.
It's actually entirely possible with the way they do these fucking these
I'd
villains,
be
because
okay
they bring in a bigger actor to do a voice, and they don't have to do any shooting.
Because I think if I remember that character, it's Bruce inhabits. I think Bruce takes over Barry's body.
Well,
kind
not
of.
really.
Like they merge.
He merges with Barry, and Barry retreats into his subconscious.
It's very Superior Spider-Man, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So like Kevin Conroy just like voicing that would be like, even if especially if it was like this version, like like that could be a really interesting way of being like, oh, that's what happens to this character.
Yeah. That could be cool.
And I can't remember how they get to like the Batcave area. But yeah,
he walks her. I think he walks Kate down, and he's like showing her stuff, and she's like, "Wait, you did what?" And he like pulls out the kryptonite, and he's like, "Yeah, like you never know. He was this god." And then Kara shows up in Supergirl outfit now, and is like, "Do you know what this guy did? Like, he is not our Paragon."
Like I do love. She's like, "You know what this guy did?" And he's like, "I did it, baby." Whoa.
It's like, another Kryptonian. I know how to take you out. And yeah, they have their super fight.
Fucking Kate like roundhouse kicks him into like an electrical generator, and he fucking dies.
Well, he like kind of died. He like has last words. He's like, "Remember, Kate," and like puts up the kryptonite.
There is no hope or something. Remember, Kate, just slide the knife in. It gets easier.
Get a spear. It's symbolic.
Just drop them off of high buildings. It's really fun.
Listen, if Kara says Martha, just punch her in the face.
Don't walk away this time.
Guns are so rad. Get a gun.
Don't do what I did.
The guns and the thing Marlins that are both present in Flashpoints. I think Cyborg stops Thomas because he's like, "Yeah, I see you. I've noticed you like to chase your criminals to this very specific building where it's got a long drop and we keep finding bodies at the bottom. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?"
Do you?
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So I was like, get the fuck out of my city.
But yeah, this Bruce dies and they leave kind of dejected.
Yeah. And then we have like basic monitors like, Ray, build me a thing. And Ray builds him a thing.
And Ray's like, you got it.
Yeah.
And basically they're like, oh shit, all these other planets are
Essentially
dead.
built up a giant Pokedex for Paragons, okay? Like,
Yeah. And then we get the T.
Yeah, Cerebro, basically.
Yeah.
Pokedex.
We get the tease of Harbinger has been she's been corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
In the what is it? She's meeting with the Anti-Monitor in the hallway of the fucking
Right. It's the hallway.
Star Labs. Star Labs.
The one hallway in Star Labs.
Random hallway, but
the
we
only
film
one
it from a different angle.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's weird that like I want to say like I think episode 2 is both of the weak. It's the weakest and like, but it has like two of the best kind of moments.
Yeah.
But there's like not a lot going to the rest of the story. It just has two of the awesomest things they've ever done with the Routh and Conroy stuff.
Yeah, and Ralph joins them on the Wave Rider.
Filler.
Yeah, Ralph joins them on the Wave Rider, and then at the end of it, it ends with Harbinger talking to Anti-Monitor, right?
Yes, yeah, and then we jump into episode.
Into that, but it also has a really, I don't know if we talked about this. We also talked about this moment where Kara and Kate are having a little heart to heart, and Kara basically says something along the lines of,
"Read that book.
I'm gonna read that book. I'm gonna bring that Earth back." And Kara, and
Kate's like, "Don't you read that book?
Read that book."
Basically.
and then she leaves, and then Kate's like, "Thank God I kept magical green space rock."
Right,
and
she's very like, "Do I need to use this?
Bitch, don't make me use this." I like it.
That Bruce apparently kept in like a high-tech Altoids case. Like it's a small little fucking pot.
I wish it was an actual Altoids case. That would be
great. The blatant levels of disrespect. Like, yeah, I can use this to kill you. I put it with my mints.
I do like how, I don't know why, but like we get a lot of the Batwoman suit without the mask, and I'm like, damn, I really like that suit. And like the mask is the part that's not the best, but the suit looks fucking great, I think.
Yeah. So, comparison to last year during Elseworlds, where I thought Ruby Rose was really fucking flat, she's not this time. In fact, I rather liked her the entire time. The thing is, I was waiting for me to not see just fucking Ruby Rose anymore, because it is, outside of Brandon Routh, it is weird for the show to bring in what you would consider a celebrity. And I would totally call Ruby Rose a celebrity for a time. I don't know if her star's fallen a lot, but like, so after a while,
I feel like she's kind of plateaued.
Yeah,
she's like one of those people you see in like action movies or kind of thing like that, and like, hey, she's here. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I would say she's more of a personality than
the biggest thing she did was she did a season of Orange Is the New Black like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then she was kind of in, and she went into Triple X.
Yeah, then she tried to be an action star, which they were like, you don't get any lines. Okay.
Right.
Well, no,
you're a mute in John Wick too.
Yeah. She was in the Meg.
Yeah.
That's
she's
awesome.
had roles.
Good for her.
But yeah, it's true. And I said back when she was cast, it's because they don't have to train her. They don't have to send her to martial arts courses or really do a lot. She's already got most of it down. So
I will say, Lou, to your point about the costume, like there's in Batwoman, like the first episode, there's like a proto Batwoman costume, and it looks really good.
Yeah, well, it's the
cowl, right? The actual the clothes
it's
cowl.
her wearing like a trimmed down Batman costume, like
and it
actually
actually
Batman costume
great.
fit. Yeah.
But part 3 is the one I'm the least familiar with as far as immediate memory goes. Because
part 3 is where like shit hits the fucking fan.
Yeah. And part 3 is also where Ryan Choi is picked up.
Yes, it's where because it starts off with these like Ray's like, I need help. Get me a Cisco. And Cisco comes.
Cisco comes in. He immediately makes fun of the Anti-Monitor's name.
I love the recurring thread of everyone making fun of the Anti-Monitor's name.
Oh, well, I like the fact that like I also like that they have like teams. It's like nerd team.
Yes.
And they're nerd team. It's like
it's very it's very science bros, but like they have so many science bros.
They have more science bros.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
do
get,
love
like,
that. Like Cisco walks in, he's like the anti-monitor. So we workshopping this, or is it we married
That
to
was
this
a great
idea?
line. It's like, so we gonna fix this or no? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That one, and when he sees Nash Wells, he's like, "Oh, you got a new costume and a new name. Consult me. I see how it is."
Oh yeah, I think that's the one thing we missed. Like I think in the second episode we get a glimpse of Pariah in it.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Cisco shows up and they identify Ray or Barry's the Paragon of Love, Martian Manhunter's Honor, and then some dude in Ivy Town is the Paragon of Humanity.
Yeah.
And for comic savvy people, Ryan Choi jumps out immediately because he is the next person to don the Atom suit.
Yes, he
After
is the
Ray
second
Palmer.
Atom who gets killed pre-Flashpoint in the dumbest way possible.
If that happened, I don't know.
Oh yeah, the Teen Titans led by Deathstroke kill him and bury him in a shoebox.
Oh my God, what?
Jesus.
Yes.
What the fuck?
And then like I think that happens and Flashpoint happened the next week. And
Oh,
so
okay.
Thank God for that. That's
Yeah.
more fucked up than what goes on in the Injustice comics, where like every 10 pages is like,
yeah.
I don't know, like one of them is like, here's Ted Cord. Someone's cut his legs off and he's dying
I
as
think in the current
Shazam?
Like that store's going out of
Bulbs
business.
thing.
Let's steal their light bulbs. That's
yeah,
just-
I'm trying to remember. In the current continuity, he was a member of the Justice League International, which was like him, Batman, Killer Frost, Vixen, and someone else. And him and Killer Frost are a couple.
Wasn't it Lobo the fifth person? Or was it,
Yeah, I
like,
think Lobo was with them for a minute. Yeah.
yeah.
But so yeah, they send Team One, which is Iris, Ray, and Ralph, to go find Ryan Choi. Which he's just like a dude.
Also, this is where we kind of get the whole line where everyone who ever shows up calls it a crossover themselves.
Yes,
Like they break
crossover.
I love that. Oh, and the monitor goes like, Cisco, we need
Shit must return. He's like, yeah, no, buddy. And then the monitor's
He's
like,
just like-
hand wave.
It's a literal hand wave. Hand wave. Here's your costume.
It is very abridged DBZ where he's like, clothes beam. And then suddenly fucking
Oh,
Cisco is vibe
This
again.
is the episode where the Dragon Ball Z references will become many and multiple.
Oh, are we
Yeah.
talking about the end? Because
Yeah, well, it goes into
Mhm.
like, yeah. But yeah, he hand waves him, and then it's Cisco, Barry, and Caitlin go to find Pariah and find out that like, oh yeah, Nash
Yeah.
opened up the chamber.
Well, they go to find the Anti-Monitor's chamber, and Pariah's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also love how the
And-
anti-monitor has been living beneath Star Labs the entire
Yeah. Basically.
And this is where they find
he's just been like sitting there while he's like all like the
You
whole like
fuckers,
Eobard
goddamn,
gone.
keep it down up there.
goddamn,
I don't care about
Eobard
your
keeps-
goddamn
Really
Call the
great.
police. I know you have an illegal prison set up in your science facility.
It's like, listen, I don't care about your goddamn Savitar or Thinker or Zoom or whoever the fuck.
He's got a
Like,
broom,
you could
and
probably
he's,
for 5 years.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
he's just considering hitting the ceiling with the broom. Like, keep it down. But he's like, if I do this, they'll know I'm here.
I feel like in my head canon, Eobard like found it and was like, no, and
Hit
walked
the
away.
door and he's like, you know what? No thanks.
Yeah, not my job.
Yeah, he does-
Time to go into the Speed Force and not come back for a while.
He does
So-
that thing from the finale of season 1 where he sees Jay's helmet and he's like, and that's my cue.
That's my cue.
So I guess this
That's
breaks
how
up
funny
into
that moment is because he looks down. He's like, "Oh fuck, that's bad."
but this is again we have 3 different teams because the other team is Constantine, Mia, and Diggle now with trying to resurrect Oliver still.
Diggle.
Yeah.
Diggle's like,
And
I
Diggle's
wasn't there.
mad.
I'm the worst friend ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's real mad and he's real emo and it works. Because Diggle.
Have a rad romance.
Yeah.
So which team should we start with?
Let's go with the
I-
one that's sort of ongoing from the last one. Sort of.
Yeah, this the Oliver stuff because
The Oliver team, yeah.
They put a bow in it like pretty quickly because
Oh yes.
so, like Constantine's like we got to find his soul because right now he's just kind of a wildman. So they're like the amount of Earths is getting limited, so we have to go elsewhere.
Yeah, Constantine's like, I know a guy. He's on a different Earth. It's still alive.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick, but let's go
Yeah.
talk to him.
This
And it turns out it
motherfucker.
is Lucifer from Team
Yes.
Lucifer.
Who?
Mhm.
Which I love that the guy, like Tom Ellis, was like, "No, I did not do it." Okay,
I'm just gonna not be here. I'm just not gonna be in this crossover. That's not happening. I was in town for a friend.
well, I
Yeah.
think they went to him because that's definitely the set of Lucifer that looks
Mhm.
like that they went to L.A. or wherever they film it.
Don't they?
Well, they did that a lot. I know for
Yes.
Jefferson, or no, wait, Jefferson came to them actually.
No,
He did.
Batwoman's stuff is the one that's filmed elsewhere. That's filmed in
Yeah.
like Pittsburgh, I think, or Chicago. But yeah, they knock on the door. He's like, "Oh, what does he say? Like, oh, Constantine. It's Constantine.
Johnny.
Whatever. I don't give a shit."
Johnny, yeah, Johnny.
It's like, oh, you still. It's like, yeah, I know. I still owe you for that thing with Maz. What is it? And he does his power, which is, what do you most desire? And he's like, to bring my dad back. And he's like, ooh, daddy issues.
And he looks
Yeah.
at Diggle. He's like, "You remind my brother, tall, dark, is annoyed by me."
I was
Yeah.
saying this before we started recording, but that one scene has now made me want to watch Lucifer, and my girlfriend
Yeah.
is very excited that I now want to watch Lucifer.
Yeah, I'm the only one that that watched it.
He's like, "All right, what do you guys want?" And they're like, "We gotta go to purgatory." He's like, "That's it? God, take this card, get in my face."
Yeah, fuck off. I got drinking and coke to do.
Drinking and
Yeah,
word.
the world, everything is about to end, and I'm going to get my dick wet. Now go
Yeah.
away.
Is he hedonism bot from Futurama? Like, I regret
Yeah.
nothing.
He kind of is hedonism bot.
Yeah. I'm the devil, and I'm going to party. The devil.
Yeah.
does. Now
I'm
get
going
the
to
fuck out of
drug
here.
and sex.
I'm the devil. Fuck off.
So but he gets
And
the
yes.
card. It's like you can go to purgatory, but if this card starts to fade, it's like your time's running out and you gotta get out of there.
Yeah. So they
So-
go to purgatory and bum, bum,
Thank you.
bum.
Purgatory, everybody.
Nobody saw that coming. No one at all.
Hey, they finally made that name pay off.
Cut to every single time they've said Lian Yu means purgatory.
Honestly,
Hint, hint,
and
wink,
outside of,
wink.
like, budgetary constraints, like this is fine because like
Yeah.
Oliver probably would send himself to Lian Yu subconsciously.
Yeah. Also, this was pre-established.
Yeah.
Purgatory was already established as being Leon Yu when they had to rescue Sarah, so it's not too crazy. But yeah, it works.
They love how this works out because they are trying to save time. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, John's like, well, he's going to be kind of weird. And, people in purgatory don't have their memories quite right. He might be a little wild. And then Oliver jumps out of a tree and just starts kicking everybody's head.
No,
Well, yeah,
no.
and he puts
jumps out of a
John in a
tree,
chokehold.
tackles John.
And puts
Like-
Diggle in a chokehold, and they're like, hold on, wait, we love you, we're family. And he's like, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
And then
Jim Corrigan
who shows
steps
up?
out from behind a fucking bush. He's like, hi, I'm also here.
Yeah, well, he goes,
Yeah.
I'm Jim Corrigan. And Constantine's like, you're not the one I know. And he's like, I know, I'm from a different Earth. Suck it. And let's move on.
Do you know what he reminds me of? It's like that noise that Goku makes in Dragon Ball Z Abridged whenever he instant transmissions.
The like pop in.
Yeah, the little popping noise. That's what happened to him.
Yeah, he was apparently, he's from Supernatural and he's done like a bunch of other stuff. But he
That
was
makes
also
sense.
in Smallville for like a while.
God damn it.
I don't remember
God.
this character though.
Stop bringing it up from now.
Yes, but yeah, so he pops
you
in.
really don't need to
Like,
say.
He's like,
We just
I
I
know,
just-
everybody's in it.
hold on. So yeah, Jim Corrigan, of all DC characters, steps out and he's like, I'm the fucking Spectre. Guess where this show is going now?
Yeah.
Which is
That's
not-
what. Yeah, I got excited when that happened.
Yeah,
Really
I was
excited.
actually surprised because the Spectre is a huge part of the comic, but I'm like, they don't got the fucking budget to do this.
Yeah.
And they don't.
They bought a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that
It
shit
works.
so well. Because it's just like a really dark version of what Oliver would wear as a Green Arrow, and I mean dark as in tone, not dark as in color.
Yeah, and then I think that's all we get with them. And
Yeah.
then I want to say the Barry team for last, but I would say like the Ryan Choi team goes and they have a talk, and he's like, I'm just a dude. And
Yeah.
I think this is where Ralph does his speech, and he's like, just because you're a dude doesn't mean you can't be like the dude. So be a
Yeah.
dude and join our team.
Mhm.
He's like, okay.
He's like, hey, bro.
Well, and
come
also
join the
Iris
fun
does
squad.
a thing.
Iris
Yeah.
gets a lot in these 2 episodes, and my wife had a huge problem with the last episode, and it had to do with Iris. So like, I was like, yeah, but she had like 2 big episodes. And it's like,
Yeah.
why is she not in the last one? But yeah.
Yeah.
But
Do I sound any better now?
yes.
Yeah, you said great.
Yes.
Yeah, Iris was very useful in this crossover.
I actually would have liked
usual.
better if she was the paragon of love. Like, I'm like, oh, that would be something for her to do.
Yeah, that would
But
would work better, but it does have the Ryan. It does have that Ryan Choi problem of like, what's she gonna do during that big demon fight?
Are you kidding me? If Iris West was during the final battle, people would have lost their minds.
She would
Yeah.
have summoned Joe,
She summons Ghost Joe to like.
who's the only
Fight the
he's like the
demon.
only person from Flash who's not him and his wife are the only ones that don't get a cameo in the crossover.
And yet they're
Yeah,
credited.
that's
by the
Down, you
to
can't bother
reason.
him when he's sitting down for
Yeah.
entire season.
But then
I'm not participating in your crossover, okay?
But then we go to the Barry thing, which is they go into the underground chamber, and we have who we haven't seen since last season, which is John Wesley Shipp's 1990 Barry Allen from the TV show.
Well, they get into the anti-monitor chamber because Pariah shows up and he's like, "I'm sent here to bear witness. Hello."
I done fucked up.
Yeah, and then basically Cisco learns why Monitor
Mhm.
vibe because he can vibe Nash's memories through Pariah and figure out how to open the door. Also, portals are handy, so Cisco, shut up. But they get the door. Get inside. There's just like a treadmill and a fucking red blur on it, and I love it because it's there, and no one goes, "What's that?" They're like, "Wow, what's this room?"
Which I love how they keep having the treadmill, but they never say the name from the comic book.
No, because why would they?
It's dumb.
But the treadmill is like a big part of the comic, and like they do like a really dumb thing. But I can't remember, how did they get Black Lightning in there?
I guess him.
He's
because
powering something. Is that right?
He was supposed to. So what? Okay, so let's.
Yeah, Flash from Earth 90, as Barry notices, is trapped on this fucking treadmill, basically, and he's put there because he's powering the anti-monitor's antimatter wave.
Yeah.
But if he stops running, it explodes and everything dies.
Yeah, it's a failsafe.
So I'm gonna rewind a little bit and briefly go into, because Black Lightning actually had a tie-in episode to this entire
Yes, it did.
crossover.
I watched it. John, you watched it?
I did see it, and basically, just I'm not going into it right now, but what happens is at the end, the red skies are coming towards Black Lightning's Earth. At the end of it, while they're trying to save their daughter, Black Lightning gets taken away by Pariah while his entire Earth is destroyed.
We get close-up shots of his entire family being utterly annihilated.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
It is actually, if you haven't watched it, it is the closest you can get to like a comic book like tie-in issue that works really well to add on like, oh, this is like an interesting, because what it does is like his one daughter can like channel energy, and so she's like absorbing antimatter, so she has like a whole thing with 2 other versions of herself, and so she gets to like experience what these other Earths are like. So we see Earth 1 and Earth 2 kind of Black Lightning, what happened in them, and he's from Earth 3.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like, it's heavy shit, because it's basically like, oh, if she goes too far this way, this is like the daughter, this is what happens to that Earth. If she goes too far this way, this is what happens to this other Earth. And she's
Okay,
like,
so
yes.
he's the same Earth as not Barry,
Erik.
but Jay Erik.
Yeah, he's the same Earth as Jake Erik, I think. Yeah.
That makes sense. That works.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they Barry kind of, they get him off temporarily because they basically have Cisco makes a bunch of portals so that Barry can jump through one, grab him, and then get out the other one. It was really cool the way they do that real quick. And then fucking Earth 90 Barry's like, thanks for the reprieve, but you got to put me back on that thing.
Yeah, and that's where like Black Lightning's like, I can absorb the energy for
because he suddenly appears and he's like, who the fuck are you people? And then he blasts Barry, and I guess like his power meeting the Speed Force in Barry just like knocks them both on their ass.
No, Barry does the lightning thing. He does his own little thing back.
In his show, the way they explain his power set is that he's like a
battery?
He's more like a capacitor. Like he absorbs energy and then he can push it out. So in the show, when they cut like the power to the city, his power slowly dwindle because he's constantly pulling from the power, like the power grid.
He's like Electro then.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he shows up and he's like the moment we've all been waiting for, which is where he shows up and he's like, "Who are you people?" Wants to fight them immediately.
Yeah. It's like, what did you do? Where's my family? Who are you? I hate you.
They're all dead, and welcome to the crossover.
Right. Welcome, new guy.
He's like, why'd you say them? Should have been me.
I actually like his performance in this entire sequence because, their idea is they're gonna, while they're deciding what to do about the antimatter cannon, Black Lightning is going to temporarily keep it charged with his powers. And the whole time he's doing it, he's just like fucking doing these gritted teeth motivational speeches to himself. He's like, "What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?"
Oh yeah, well they have a great line. Was it Barry that says something to him, and he's like, "Oh, isn't that like, what does he say? Like Thurgood Marshall?" It's like, "Oh yeah." Because he's a goddamn teacher in a high school. Like he has these like things in his head.
Yeah, I loved it because even if I hadn't watched the first season of Black Lightning, it's the kind of thing that would make me want to go watch Black Lightning. They set him up to be such an interesting character.
Because he's grizzly and he has that awesome. Is it like a sneer, like the lip curl thing he does?
Yeah, it's so.
It's like so good.
So good.
It's also nice to see someone who is like advanced in life to the point where like he doesn't even stand among these people in their everyday lives because he's older and seen so much more.
Yeah, well, in his world, he's been a hero since his 20s
for decades.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think this is where Barry's like, "Oh shit, what if I go the other way?"
Go backwards. Yeah, because Barry and Barry go into flash time and have a quick conversation. And this scene actually acts the same way the Smallville one does, because this is offering closure to the Flash 90s TV show.
This actually, I will say, like, when they do the cut, my wife was like, "That was beautiful," and kind of got teary-eyed.
It's super sad.
I remember getting teary-eyed in the moment. Wow, that hits. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
And I'll say this as somebody who watched that show as a little kid. Like, I obviously didn't watch it when it first came out because it was 1990. I've been like 3, but at some point it was on TV and I watched it. So like seeing that flashback to that show, and like, oh, he did marry the girl. Like he says all that stuff. It's like, oh, he married her. They had a life, and now we get to see the resolution of that.
It's like you're properly respecting these things you keep pulling from past works. Like you're not just bringing them in and not acknowledging their existence as their own property. Like they are incorporating things from these shows and from these characters and giving them closure and putting bookends on these things that like Flash. The Flash TV show was canceled for one season.
Yeah,
it only had one season.
They're giving all these things additional meaning. That's what they like. Birds of Prey, like they gave that show an ending for the people out there who probably love that show. I'm sure that it exists. They had a proper, finale for that. Yeah. Which is pretty special. And the fact that they did it for so many things is pretty special.
Yeah, they did it for like the 89 Batman. Like, so we got like a kind of like, oh, Batman continues and he's still fighting and he got married in that in the one universe. And we get like it especially after the final episode, we get like the ending of the Ralph Reeves like Superman universe. Like they do such a good job.
And if you're some people, you think that's a new beginning.
Right.
But so basically, Barry is like, this is it. Time for Flash to vanish in crisis. And Earth 90 Barry is like, you do that. By the way, stealing your Speed Force. And then he's like, "Yeah, you're definitely not doing this. Like, this is an old like this heroic sacrifice is like an old man's game, and you're certainly not doing this in my stead." Hops in the treadmill.
It's a trope, but it's done so perfectly. And he's like, "Oh, when you've been a speedster as long as me, you picked up new tricks." I'm like, oh, awesome.
So good.
And so he jumps in the treadmill, and we get the thing that they were teasing, which is the death of the Flash, kind of in this very similar way the comics does. He runs and and fucking evaporates.
I will say, and John, you can tag team this with me. Like, I think it's a better death of Flash than the comic.
Yes,
the death of Flash in the comic is really bad. And
here's the thing about the Flash in the comics death. The Flash in the comics death just is like Flash isn't in it that much, so it's like, bam, okay, you're dead. But
also the publication, like the real world editing reason behind that is like they're just trying to get rid of characters. So if Barry's in the chopping block, they're just gonna have him like, yeah, sure, he dies saving the multiverse, but like in the moment, it's not very dignifying.
Yeah,
but
well,
like,
the thing is,
with this moment, it's like it has a weight behind it. It has a meaning behind it.
Yeah, because in the comics, though, the I can't remember which issue it is, but Supergirl dies first, and she gets like an epic death. Yeah, and then Flash, he literally dies by himself with just Psycho Pirate there, and he does exactly what they do in the show. He destroys the thing, but like there's no one there to witness it, and he gets. They just
there's nobody cares. Nobody's there to mourn him.
Doesn't Batman have a vision of him dying?
Yes, but that's in the beginning. Like, it's like he's existing at different points in the book, so that starts the book and comes in at the end. Yeah. But no one actually sees what he does, like what he actually did to help defeat the crisis. No one sees it but Psycho Pirate.
Okay,
it was just a reliable friend.
Sure.
Yeah, but so Earth 90 Barry dies. While he's doing it, he gets a flashback to I don't remember her name, but the woman he marries in the Flash TV show. It's super sweet. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. I don't know why I know her name's Tina McGee, but it's Tina McGee.
Yeah. And then we
wait.
Get to
her name is Tina McGee.
Yes.
Yes.
There's been a Christina McGee in CW Flash.
Yeah, it's the same actress.
Holy shit! It is.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Connor,
that.
The one that you get to learn this for the first time. It's nice.
Oh, it's awesome because that's the episode where the return. Well, I mean, one of her episodes, the Return of the Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Where he comes in, he's like, Christina McGee, make me a portal.
Yeah.
The end of the episode is basically they're like, oh shit, it's coming for Earth 1. We didn't stop anything. And Brian's like, I'm going to send all you Paragons away.
Well, there's other stuff. This is one where I feel like it's...
Oh, yes.
It might be fan servicey, but Barry and Jefferson getting to know each other.
It's where they have like the quote that Barry gives Jefferson. And they kind of have like we're kind of grown-ups and we can talk about like our philosophies. Mm-hmm. And then we have the Harbinger turn where we have our first Dragon Ball Z beam struggle.
Yes.
Kamehameha Cell versus Gohan struggle here.
Yes, the important part of their heart-to-heart just for a moment is the father stuff. I think that's what makes it work so well.
Oh yeah, because they talk about it. He's like, I've lost family too. Like I lost my parents. He's like, oh, it's different. Like I'm a father. He's like, yeah, I lost my kid too, kind of. Because Nora, I guess, is a thing still. But yes,
he remembers her. But now she definitely doesn't exist, and we'll explain why coming up.
Yeah, and Jefferson says, I'm guessing they didn't raise any quitters or something like that. And it's a very good moment.
I think our fathers didn't raise no quitters, so let's honor their memory.
Yeah, so good. Very good.
Which is funny because I think Jefferson's dad dies when he's like 10.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he sees him get murdered in like a very brutal fucking way.
And how am I forgetting Barry's father's name? He gets taken away at when Barry's like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, he gets taken away, and then gets killed by Zoom.
Right, exactly.
But then we have Harbinger does her comic book turn. They have a beam struggle. She kills the Monitor, and then his power. So like now the multiverse is dying. Pariah's like Paragon's away, and then
yes.
He does have like a fucking, he's like, aha moment.
He's like, oh, I have powers. I forgot about that.
I know what I have to do. And he teleports the 7 Paragons away. But he sends him to the vanishing point, which is technically safe from antimatter attacks because it's
which
that
is
was a cool.
that's a cool callback.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like that was a deep cut.
Yeah,
is it season 1 or season 2?
Season 1.
Season 1 of Legends is the last time I remember seeing it.
Because they blew it up with
I
Rick,
forgot
right?
about it. Yeah, they blow it up, and you're like, oh well, that's the
where
end of that.
That's where Snart dies, right?
Yeah.
and they're where they get transported to is the fucking wreckage of that ship.
It's totally not the exact same idea of like nowhere in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Absolutely not.
But then the final ending thing, which is like Randaroth's like, I don't feel so good, guys. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
It is very similar. And then he turns.
Beams shoot at him. He disappears, and Lex is like, "Baha!"
It's like, oh,
It's
so that worked.
For my next trick.
I love how he like brushes off his suit, and he's just like, oh, glad that worked.
If he
I
had
love
an
how at
old
the end he just
Spanish
looks
mustache
around.
to try, he would.
I love how at the end he just looks around, he's just like happy to be there. Like, so what do we do now?
Oh yeah, he literally says, so what's up now, guys?
Yeah, and there's a lot of other character moments like they'll fight with every last breath, and they all say it in sync because they're all being destroyed.
They'll be there to stop.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
Raya, Black Lightning.
I would say because we did gloss
Ralph
over the amount of
Dibny,
characters who were fucking murdered
Clark.
on this fucking the Wave Rider. Yeah,
They're just-
Clark, Ralph, Iris, Black Lightning, Harbinger, I
Yeah.
assume, Lois,
Mick,
Mick, yeah,
Baby Jonathan or baby
baby Jonathan. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all just turned to fucking ash. It's so such a great ending.
And I
Yeah.
think we do have to talk about like the dusting effect is similar but very different.
Oh, I
than
love it.
Endgame.
I love it because
It's
because
fast.
I don't know what an antimatter wave would do to my body, but the way this seems to work is that like people start burning up before this thing even hits them.
Yeah,
And then they just kind of
just
get
cooks
it just cooks
Oh,
them
look
into
at the
like
birds
they
of
just
prey
turn
thing.
into nothing.
Yeah. They don't fade. They like not burst, but they like
No,
it's
it is a very combustion-esque effect.
Yeah.
Like it looks like an
Yeah.
actual terrible way to die because some people go face first.
yeah.
but they're burned in on like an atomic level. It's so so unnerving.
Like it's
Yeah.
not the snap is very indifferent and quiet, and that's what I find unsettling about it. Like this is like that is a literal cosmic wave of death, and there's
But the snap
no
also
getting out of its
feels-
way.
The snap
Yeah.
feels painless while this feels painful.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you're in agony for at least a second.
Yeah.
So then
And
I like how just like Infinity War and this, they took a break to let you like go like, oh, so everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Except in this case,
Everything is fucked.
everybody actually was dead. Everybody. Capital E.
Because what we're left with, there's 6 people left. That's it.
7.
7. So it's it's Kate,
six humans and a Martian.
Yeah, it's well, Kryptonian, I guess too. So
Yeah.
so it's Supergirl, Batwoman, Martian Manhunter, Ryan Choi, Lex Luthor, Flash, and Black Canary or White Canary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do love that
That's who's left.
Martian Manhunter got a fucking level up for this crossover
Well, that was
and was
actually
ever
that
present
was-
and important the whole time.
That's that was his entire season arc on Supergirl. Like when at the end of Elseworlds, when he brings the brother back, it's like, and the Monitor's like, yeah, I brought him back so you could deal with your bullshit. So like you wouldn't have any hang-ups going into this battle.
Well, not even that. Like just from a use point of view, like he's all over the place, and he gets to do a lot, and he gets to be like he's a founding member of the Justice League. Spoilers.
Well, the thing is, like power set wise, he's more
he's
powerful
easily
than
the
Superman.
more. Yeah, he's like their personal vision.
Yeah, well, he's Superman plus psychic powers.
Yeah. He's very useful. Very
so
useful.
but part 4 opened up with them the vanishing point. I do love Ryan Choi's letter because it starts off like, "Dear love of my life, you're dead now."
He's starting the flashback.
That was a great way to open it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The flashback.
Yeah, we
with
start
Martin
10,000 years ago.
this
In the
is so
second
sweaty.
age.
This is so sweaty. It's caked in sweat, in dried sweat.
Basically in comic book wise, they replace Novu with Pariah. So what Novu does is what Pariah does in the comics, where he tries to see the creation of the universe. Where in DC Comics, it's a giant blue hand. Wonder what that is. But they've been doing it since the 80s.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the giant blue hand has been around since 86.
Okay.
Creepy, actually.
Well, that makes me think that Alan Moore is doing.
Well, we've talked about this in the comic show. 1986 to 1988 has the 3 most important comic books kind of all time, which is from DC, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths, The Dark Knight Returns, and Watchmen. All come out basically simultaneously.
Yes, but Alan, he was working at DC at the time, which makes me think he saw that and he's like, huh. So I'm actually more okay with the Watchmen being part of it all now, if that was the case. If he'd planned on that from the beginning. And that was just
Alan Moore wanted to use DC characters that they just bought for Watchmen initially, but they were like, you're not going to kill them, so no thanks.
Yeah, he wanted to use the Charlton characters, which are Captain Atom, the Question, Blue Beetle. Yeah. So which became Question is Rorschach, Night Owl's Blue Beetle, Captain Atom is Dr. Manhattan.
It's incredibly bizarre that 30 years later, fucking Doomsday Clock happens the way it does.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get to 10,000 years ago, and it was like, I'm gonna go see a thing. I love you, wife. I'm gonna see a thing. Oh wait, this thing. This is not what I meant. Oh no,
I've temporarily goofed.
Yes.
Oh no, I have a weird, rubber face,
You mean a White Walker? A White Walker.
I mean a White Walker.
Let's talk about him for a second, because honestly, just from a practical perspective, it's not bad. Everything about it looks kind of cool.
Not bad.
The thing is,
it's not bad. It's just I saw that design 6 months ago.
Yeah, the Anti-Monitor is a horrible
helmet with a big fucking set of teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not an easy design.
I'm sort of angry that they did not go with the stupid fucking teeth.
With the helmet, I wanted him to have the helmet at some point, and he didn't.
I think because at the end of what was it? Final Evil, Forever Evil, Forever Evil. At the end of Forever Evil, he shows up. He's like the end credit scene in Forever Evil, where it's like, I am the Anti-Monitor, and he looks very Robbie the Robot-ish.
Well, yeah, they've revised his look over the decades, but initially, I'll post in a picture, he looks goddamn ridiculous, his initial look.
But I think that Robbie the Robot look is the key. I think that's what I would have gone with.
I think this is the one you're talking about, which is more current day.
Yes, he's very
So and that's even they've updated from there, because the most recent where they're oh, he's Morbius, or not Morbius, Mobius. The chair is his chair. He just looks like a giant dude with a helmet.
Well, yeah. Well, is that part of the whole Anti-Monitor Apocalypse War thing that they were doing?
Yes, that's what he looks like now, because he's in the current Justice League book.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've retconned the Monitors and Anti-Monitors have been retconned back and forth forever. So at one point his original look is he looks all normal and shit. But yeah, his original 1986 look is terrible.
Yeah, I'm just really
am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Okay.
I get it that you don't have a lot of places to go with that design. But
it's blue and there's tubes and there's I
don't even have a problem with that. It really is just his face. And I keep on saying the White Walker thing, but he really does look like a White Walker to me. And I'm not over that enough for that not to bother me.
I think the objective was to make him look ancient, and so he wouldn't have this fine, smooth skin or anything, and he would be.
I think it's being ancient
in space and shit.
Deformed look. Because when he loses
it's Palpatine,
the helmet,
where Palpatine gets fucking hit with force lightning, and suddenly his forehead becomes a butt.
So this last image I just popped in, this is him with the helmet removed. So it's you can kind of see what they were going for with the weird lines. It's they just took that part off.
Looks like he has space
Call me
braces.
the Monitor.
I think if they had given him a face that was just devoid of humanity, I think that it would have worked a lot better for me.
Well, I
personally.
can't remember. I think in the I found a picture. I think this is from like the Green Lantern CG show, the Dini one. Not the Dini. What's his name? The artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
like-
like
yeah.
Bad.
They did
like
Yeah,
that.
that's,
Wait,
I like that a
this.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me
he's
of
more robotic
Holocaust
and
from
stuff.
X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah. Or God, was this one of the Dini shows where they had a robot whose face was LED, but it would change shapes, but it was mostly just lines. What am I thinking of?
Wow, that's
a
amazing cosplay.
That's a really good. That's
Look how
really
his,
good.
you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the big thing with Anti-Monitor's teeth. It looks like he's trying to catch like krill and like plankton.
Yeah, well,
Like,
in the comics,
he's got these big old blue whale teeth.
From when
I
we
like
just,
that.
From when we just reread them, none of it is actually his body. He doesn't have a body. He is
Right.
living antimatter, and it's like it's a suit that like houses him.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Interpretation I
that's
got from the show was that
Yeah.
like basically, you know, there if it's mirroring universes, but one is antimatter and one is matter, like that means that the antimatter version of Mar did the exact same thing, and they were meeting in the middle.
Interesting. I think that's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could also be like, is it Planet X in Fantastic Four, or Dimension X?
Well, when they would go to the other with Nihilus, that's
Yes.
the negative. Was it
Negative
the
zone.
That's the
I
negative zone.
think of it
Dimension
sort of
X
like
is
that.
turtles.
Where like the negative zone doesn't have a form of its own, right? Am I correct in that?
Yes.
It's just like it's chaotic open space.
Right,
in
and
DC
that's
Comics,
the way I was.
yeah, there are people who live in the antimatter universe, but like that's the big thing they changed in this. Like in the comics, they're created simultaneously, so they are the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
That kind of ties into my interpretation of their meeting.
Yes. So like they are basically the same being. They're the monitor of their universe. So that's why like when there's more, so there are antimatter. There's an antimatter multiverse, and then their balance is on them being equal. So when the regular universe starts losing planets, the balance goes towards the antimatter universe. But again, they retcon all this shit because by the time you get to like, I think Final Crisis, there's like a planet of monitors that's much more like what they did in the show.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's less interesting to me, honestly. It's
I need to pick up those Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis omnibuses.
It's more interesting to me if the anti-verse is just thingness and it like needs something else to define itself against.
Well, Lou, or not Lou, excuse me, Arlen, don't you know that the anti-universe is just a green hue?
Right. It's just the color green.
It's green warbly line.
Everything.
But I do want to say, like, their monitor costume is like on point, beyond.
The costume is great. It's just his face looks.
Yeah,
he looks like reused.
Like his face looks like melted marshmallow.
It's like they took the actual prosthetics from HBO's Game of Thrones, and they're the same company technically, so they easily could have done this and put it on his face. That's what it looks like to me.
I bet they did, and that's how they
reused some fucking assets they had lying around the fucking warehouse.
Yeah,
it feels like that a lot, and I think that's my main problem. It's like you didn't do anything here.
It just looks like.
I think we should probably move on from his appearance.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
But basically, we get like I'm trying to remember the episode. I like the comment where he's like, "Do I really have to wear this? It's so bulky. It's like it's to protect you. I know. Blah blah blah." And they kind of are like, "Oh, this is why he's wearing this stupid outfit." Yeah. And then he does his thing, and then we go to the Paragons, which is the Ryan Choi narration. It's like
he's like, "Dear diary, hello wife, you're dead. So is my baby, and so is everybody else.
I'm stuck on this stupid thing with like."
Yeah. And he starts
the Paragon of whatever.
It's like, man, everyone's so sad. And Lex Luthor's a dick.
Yeah, he's like, if I could describe Lex Luthor as one word, douchebag certainly pops to mind.
Yes. which is like it's great when they're doing. And they're like, oh, we're gonna make a thing. It's like, oh, who should go in it? And Martian Manhunter's like, I'll go. Kara's like, oh, thanks, Lex, for nominating yourself. And that breaks.
But Barry's also missing, which is the important part.
Yes, yeah, Barry. They're like, oh, and Barry's been gone for months. We don't know where he went. And then
I think it was 8 months.
Is it 8? Well, he has a sick ass beard.
And
so
has a
I'm pretty
beard.
Sure,
Okay?
it's months. Although Lex is like clean.
They've been there for months.
Yeah, Lex's hair hasn't changed one bit, and Ryan grew a beard.
Oh, it's only Ryan. No one else has changed except for Ryan grew a fucking like.
But no, they've been there for months, and Barry disappeared a month ago.
Like that, like I imagine like Ryan walks in on Luther, and he found like I don't know, a box of razors somewhere, and he's like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah, Ryan with his
had this
sick
the whole
road
time.
Yeah.
But it turns out Barry decided to make a trip and has been kind of lost, and returns pretty soon after they establish he's gone, and just fucking crashes into a wall.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, he's like, I couldn't get to the Speed Force. It's like, Barry, where have you been? He's like, what do you mean? I've been gone for like 2 seconds. It's like, no, it's been months. He's like, what the shit? And he's like, I need to go back. And they're like, Barry, no. And he's like pushing everybody's side. And Sarah's like, literally, you're not going anywhere. And if we need to stop you, I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's like, in your condition, it's probably not going to be difficult.
And then is there anything before Ollie shows up?
No, yes, we cut to the Purgatory, and we get all the flashbacks to all of
I
Ollie's
love this.
boss fights.
Right.
Yeah. And so Oliver's got like basically his Spectre costume already. And it's really fucking cool. It's a dark green like druid hood.
Yes.
And he's sitting there, and like they've got his voice modulated to make him sound like his voice is way deeper and scarier. And he's just reliving all these important battles. And like he looks up and he looks at Jim and he's like, "Why would you make me relive all of that?" And he's like, "Well, because you have to." He's like, "Because what's coming is important." And
because every punch, every kick, like, every arrow you shot has led to this moment.
Yes. Yeah. And I like all of that. It's like, oh, and he's like, "You're ready." He's like, "All right, thank you." Like he's like, "You're ready, Daniel's son." He's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, and they give some importance and meaning to moments that maybe weren't good when they happen.
Like Damien Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they they go back to the ship, and he's just like, they're like, oh, and then he's like, what's up, douchebag? It's like, you ready to do some fucking work?
Get it, douchebags, we're going anti-monitor hunting.
Yeah.
Really and he just basically he like expositions them. He's like, all right, you need to have 2 teams. One team needs to go to the 10,000 years ago and tell the monitor to not go do things. And the other team needs to go to the beginning of time and stop the anti-monitor. Yeah. And it like Kara and Roy? Kara's like, I'll go there. And then Roy's like, ooh, get to go to an alien planet. Count me in. Alexa's like, me too. And Kara looks at him like, it's like you wouldn't let me out of your sight. And then Barry's like, but I don't have the power to reach the Speed Force. And I love that Oliver just goes, boop, and taps my head.
Boop. And then
this is the most Dragon Ball Z thing that's ever happened, because he essentially does the fucking guru thing where he reaches down and touches Gohan's head.
I'm going to reach deep inside of you.
I will reach it within you and
I don't feel very different.
He doesn't feel there. There wasn't much there.
You mean it's all downhill?
I am an adult.
It's all downhill from here.
Does it feel to be a B+ player?
Super Kami Oliver.
Nail.
Super Kami Oliver Guru.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking canon now.
Yeah. Barry needs to take everybody into the Speed Force and run. Run, Barry.
Barry, get me a TV.
Yeah.
Barry, take his coat. Barry, don't take his coat.
Barry, is that an albino Namekian? Kill it.
Anyway,
Barry, I somehow saw a bird. It was pretty. Kick its ass.
Anyway, all right. So Oliver's like, take everybody into the fucking Speed Force. Do it now.
Yeah, and he gets to say the line again.
And he does, and then the anti-monitor goes boo.
Well, no. First, he drops off Ryan, Kara, and Lex. And Kara's like, "Oh, I got you, Ryan." And then Lex goes smash into a log and flies away.
So good.
He's like,
and he's just like, thanks. Which I feel like should be her first sign of like, oh, that didn't kill him.
Yeah.
His
I've
back
actually
is broken.
Anti-monitor attacks, and by, like I said, attacks, I mean he jumps onto the screen with both hands out and goes oogie boogie.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it really is. It's straight out of like that old. It's like that old Flash game where you come on, you got to sit down and play this, and at the end it's this creepy face with creepy music, and it's
Yes.
it's exactly like that.
Yeah, and Barry's Barry hits a table, and this is our first cinematic widescreen shot where he hits the Queen Industries like file room.
It does like they do that thing in I compared it to Ray's Force Vision because it seems like it's a corridor that goes on forever.
Yes, and it's the same warehouse they always use.
Yeah, it reminded me of
it's the exact same warehouse.
Vision.
But this has one of my favorite bad special effects moments because Oliver's like, "Hey Barry, I'm now in a 3-piece suit with a nice peacoat overcoat. What's up?" And he's like, "Where are we?" He's like, "Oh, we're in the Speed Force. I'm using my magic Spectre powers to connect us. We're like memory and love are what keep us together. Blah 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 blah. Don't forget, I said memory and love. I'm gonna fade out now. Oh look, there's a square around my head.
Yeah,
you trust me with every cell of my body. Okay, bye."
Yeah, that line is delivered very well.
It's acting great. The special effect when he fades out though is so bad. Like I saw it twice. I was like, it's not good.
Still can't come up with an instance where I was distracted by it. So.
Yeah, it wasn't distracting, but it was like, okay,
on my second view, I was like, oh, I can see where they ended on a square, and like I can see the square.
Yeah, interesting.
Then Barry runs.
Yes, and we get these. We're gonna save like going into them. I think for the end probably, but we can talk about the idea of what happens. Which is in revisiting the past.
Yeah, and I had an opinion about this. I had an opinion about this on Facebook where I think that
this is what you were talking about. Okay.
Yes, so this sequence of revisiting the past, and going to key moments of this franchise and having characters get in a celebratory way of going back to moments that define these characters. I think it's done narratively better than Avengers Endgame because Avengers Endgame is basically all about you want to see Cap versus Cap, here you go, but there's no emotional weight to it. It's a lot of
every scene in this is weight.
Mostly. Yeah.
The Oliver Brandon Routh scene is just like, oh, this is when he was. I forgot he started on Arrow, and this is their original scene where he's just like, oh, Felicity told me everything. Like, well, don't you trust her? Like, she trusts me. It's like, yeah, but I don't trust her judgment of you.
Yeah,
and I'm doing things as well.
Narratively, I think a lot of this stuff works. I don't necessarily like all the scenes that they chose. I
don't like the crisis scene, the one with Superman and Oliver. I feel like that's the weakest one.
I like that one, but I'm not really a fan of Dead
Sarah.
Yeah, like that one's like, how does this matter? Whose relationship is repaired by this or made stronger?
I think it's important for Sarah because how many people get to relive the day they fucking died?
Sure.
And to see them, because again, in each one you have to the person they're talking to is. What's weird is except for Batwoman, it makes no sense. Batwoman's the one that makes no sense because she has no connection to them. But the other two scenes,
I don't know. It's
what they mean to that person. So in Sarah's thing, it's like, oh, she gets to see her sister and Diggle mourning her and see what it means. And her sisters say it should have been me. And Diggle's like, well, heroes are the ones that do the thing, and you should put on the mask to honor her.
Right, but here's the thing. That's not. It wasn't really about that though. My understanding was it's about how these alliances, how these relationships became stronger. That was my understanding. It wasn't so much about
Sarah wouldn't be the White Canary without dying.
Yeah, sure. Okay, you sold me on that one in particular. But yeah, that's
I think the ones that to me that work the best are that one and the Kara and Oliver one work the best.
I think the Kara and Oliver one works. Yeah,
he's just I just need a goddamn moment to put this together.
Yeah, that one works. The Batgirl one works. But I wasn't as big of.
I like the one where Oliver
Sarah one
and
was not
Barry
great
have
for
a
me
little
at
chat
first.
about why Oliver made the deal.
That one was another one where I was like, "What?"
I think that's allowing Barry into a moment he wasn't present for, because he makes it a point. He's like, I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, that's the Superman one.
Yeah, I
That's
get
the
that.
one where
I'm
I'm
saying
like, oh.
the way that they set it up, I was like, really? You're not really doing what you said you. And it's a device to revisit these moments. But
that's where I agree. Where like this is the kind of thing where they fail at this episode specifically is like they do a bad job of explaining what they're showing.
Right. And I think the execution is great, by the way. I think just the moments themselves don't all jive for me, where there are like 5 or 6 more important moments that I could name, not off the top of my head, where I'm like, yeah, no, that was a bigger deal for like the universe on a whole than some of the things they show.
I bet one of the things was the restriction of who they had available, because a better scene for Sarah would have been the scene from the island where she has the gun is held to her and Shadow. And I bet they could not get everyone to redo that scene.
Mm-hmm. Or something from Legends where like there's an episode I can think of where she really makes it clear that she should be the leader. But I understand why you can't.
I mean, like, to have the connection, if they're going to do everything connected to Oliver specifically, then yeah,
that or maybe something from the end of season 2, when she's like, "I'm going to stand by you and help you with Slade." That something to do with that, maybe.
With the conversation where they talk about how, like, I can't remember which crossover was. No, like, do you remember when all this started with the two of us?
Yeah,
that was, I think, either Invasion or
that was Invasion. I think.
Yeah, that was Invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying there are moments that are far more obvious to me. So that was, but I think that, again, the execution was good. I think Connor's right though about the moments having more meaning and actually being about something, because the moment in Endgame that really has the meaning is something we've seen before. It's when he goes to talk with Dad. But otherwise, it's not all that meaningful for the most part.
Well, I think the difference is, again, like, we've been, like, the time in our lives, like, from the start to the where we are now is kind of similar, but the hours is different.
Yeah.
Like, we've spent so many more, like, like 100 hours more with these characters.
Mm-hmm. We spent so much more time.
I said, this was character driven, and the Endgame thing I said was like, that's all. Yeah. It is fan service driven, and it is action driven, and this was character driven, which is something I like. I like this better. I think this works better. And like it slides into the Endgame. Like, there is a valid criticism of Endgame as like, this time travel thing is really, really forced, but like we're okay with it.
Yeah, it's a MacGuffin, but it's like each of these things has a wonky MacGuffin, but like it for the most part works better here.
Yes.
Until we get to like one thing which we're going to talk about in this episode.
Well, I think what I think makes this work is I'm trying to figure out a way to word this. Also, we're at 2 hours now, so our brains are all turning into mush. What the fuck do I want to say? Something about the way that these characters interact.
Well, yeah, they've also
relationships.
They've been together, especially like when you're considering the character like of Sarah, like she's been a character since season 1. Right.
Well, in the case of Barry and Sarah, it's not till the next episode, but they have
that conversation is like, great.
Yeah, and it's like it's basically them like we're the mom and dad guard now, right? Yeah. We're the ones who like have to carry this forward. We're in charge now, basically.
Well, not even. It's like Sarah's been around longer than Barry, so
right?
She's
but still, like if you just think of like how long they've been around and their position, they're the two people
they're the senior
who
heroes
the
of
weight is going on to, basically.
yeah,
from here
like
on out.
Black Lightning is different because he's been doing it on his own for a long time. But as far as like this group of characters, Barra, yeah, there you go. It's her combined name. Barry and Sarah
you just
have
shipped
been in leadership positions or positions of authority like way longer than anybody else has.
Yes, and now it's all on them. Like everybody's gonna look at them when the next thing comes up for leadership, because there's not going to be an Ollie there to look
Exactly.
to. So yeah, it's very interesting in that way. And I think that Endgame doesn't really focus on Tony until the last hour. This whole episode is really all Oliver.
Oh yeah, well this is the Arrow episode, so it makes sense.
And it just
I feel like each like the show that it is, it concentrates on that either character or team. So this was the Arrow episode.
Yeah, I think that's why it's my favorite episode of these, because so this is one of my other criticisms of this whole thing, is I think this is the only one where the actual individual show bleeds through.
I would say it does in the last one, but not.
It does
not to the benefit in many ways.
Not to the benefit. Because the other shows, they kind of, I would say it's kind of all blended together up until this point. But this feels like
Supergirl's the first one, right?
I think it is Supergirl.
It's like Supergirl, Batwoman, and then who's the third one?
Flash. And there are moments where you're like, well, this is because these characters are here, so this is clearly Flash's shooting days or something.
I feel like the Flash episode, like again, we talked about it, where it leaned into the John Wesley Shipp thing.
It did, yes, but this is distinctly an Arrow episode. Even though, like I said, the distinctive Arrow fight sequences are barely there in this episode, but it still feels like such an Arrow episode.
It's an Ollie-driven episode.
Yes. Yes,
but we should get moving because this episode has not a lot that happens, but a lot that happens.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on the Team 2, which I think has one of my favorite lines in the whole set of shows, which is when Ryan Choi gets up and he's like, "Wow, an alien planet. You would think it would look more alien."
That was not like it was in Vancouver.
Yes,
and not just this weird purple filter they decided to put on.
Honestly, I kind of like that because they haven't done anything like that for like what's supposed to be something otherworldly. So it did kind of have this like, oh, it's an alien atmosphere. That fucking works.
Yeah.
And then like Ryan looks over and he's like, look, buildings. That means they have infrastructure. That means they probably have communication and stuff.
And then Lex is like, I ran away. And then Kara finds him and he's like, just ask me. I'll tell you. It's like, what are you going to do? Universal domination. Oh, yeah. Did I forget to say? I gave myself superpowers. Come on, man. Yeah, Gallic gun. And shoots her.
Yes, he does. He blasts her.
And then Ryan Troy's like, what did you do? I hate answering this question. Big Bang attack. Boom. And shoots him away.
Yes, exactly.
The funny thing is, like, this is done because you can't have two men with a screwdriver in the finale.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he seduces Marnovu. That's the best way to describe it.
I feel like he does, like, he's like, oh, you're a scientist. That makes sense. He's like, all right, well, we can still do the thing, but you fucked up, so let me talk to you and figure out how to fix this.
Right.
And then, Kara goes like, I'm going to rip open a door off screen, and you see it.
Mm-hmm. And then they have a big fight.
Okay, I have to say something, though. I really want to say something.
The whole the flip. Are you going to talk about the flip?
No, it's not. It's the flip, and it's also just it's just like there's this super serious conversation going on with Marnovu.
Behind them,
no, and behind them you just see Kara going wee.
I think that is one of the funniest out of context things from this whole thing. Because
but the thing is, the Lex and Kara's beam struggle, I think, is the best looking one in the show.
It
is, but it's also unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, Ryan goes upstairs to talk to Mar and his wife, and he's basically trying to talk to him like, no, you like doing this is don't team up with Lou.
Hello.
Yo, hi there. Sorry, my mic's gone out.
I didn't know if I think Connor dipped out. Connor popped in and popped out. But Ryan Choi's talking to Marnovu, and he's basically like, "Oh my," he's like, "You don't get it. Like, if you do this thing, like, you're not just killing like some people, you're killing trillions of people across infinite Earths." Name of the series.
Boing, boing, boing.
It's like, "Oh, you're special. My new friend just told me that 5 minutes ago. Thank you." Weird flip in the background. But I do want to say, like, special effects wise, like, that's goofy. But the beam struggle they have, I like the effect of when they're connecting. Like, it looks like the fire's dripping down.
Yeah. No, that is pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff.
And they're like, "Oh, I convinced him, so we should leave." And then they leave, and they go to the beginning of time.
The dawn of time.
The dawn of time, and then
there we go. Hello, you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
And then dawn of time.
Ollie's like, "I'll light the spark. You fan the flame.
I'll light the spark. The rebellion, the resistance.
God damn it!
To fan the flames of the. This is a bad speech, and we shouldn't have stuck to it."
It's like, all right, you guys just fight him for like
just punch everything, and I'll distract him. Go.
Right, you have no powers, but you should punch them too.
Yeah, go punch stuff, and I will go have a collar elbow tie up with the anti-monitor.
Yes,
actually, with how little they do in their fight, I kind of loved it because it's just it is an extremely powerful being from a different universe up against cosmic / divine power. So like they're just standing there like, "Fucking blink, dude. I dare you." So it's basically just like them being all powerful in each other's faces.
Another special effects thing is like, I like the anti-monitors. The look of his beam is different. It's not a beam. It's like it's like lava he's shooting.
Yeah,
like, it has a different look. And then
it's really cool.
Oliver Spector is doing like Android 17 barrier wall. Like, fucking doing that, and he's like,
during that fight, we get. I know we're going to the fan service stuff later, but I need to discuss this now. We get one of my favorite lines in this entire crossover: "You have failed this universe."
Well, that has to do with the plot. That's
I like that line. Like, it's goofy and ham-handed, but like,
if they didn't, I would complain.
Yes,
I would
exactly.
It's one of those. I
would have been
like Avengers Assemble in Endgame. You kind of need to hear it.
It's like it's like if Cap said Avengers and then like I don't know, like one of the Ravagers was like assemble.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Howard the Duck.
It's the same thing as if he hadn't said run. Okay, but I get why they didn't do it because he did it once before. With this one, it's like, no, you say your line, Oliver. You say the thing that you began this universe with.
There's been a lot of, I guess, like the chat has been like, what were the Paragons there to do? And people keep joking like moral support. I'm like, I think it's not moral support.
No.
It's like, just keep the Shadow Demons off my ass, and 2, like bear witness because I'm about to restart the fucking universe.
See, I think that there's a more concrete thing that they just did a terrible job at explaining, and I think that explains what we see in the next episode. I think what Lex is saying, because I watched this twice, is I have the piece of the book. We all stand here and concentrate on what we think the world should be.
Oh, that's right.
And then that is what will happen. And that is why what happens in the next episode is the way the world is. So like they're all concentrating on like their version of the world. And which is why
in doing so they inadvertently conjoin their Earths essentially.
Exactly. It's not even like that's all that could happen because that's all that he had the energy to build at the time. But I think that's why we get the changes that we get is them concentrating on what they want. So like Luther's truth, because he's not supposed to be there, is what would I be? I would be the most loved and powerful man in the world.
Legitimately. Like
and you can imagine that the way that it works, I imagine it has something to do with will and your will and how. So some people's will and what they wanted probably overpowered other things that each other wanted, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, like they haven't gotten to it in this.
You say,
in this show. Yeah, I was gonna say like. Besides that, it's like there's in the comics with like the fifth dimensional things like Batman and stuff, like imagination in the DC comics is a thing that has power. And I think that's what they are going for. Because like again, I watched it like it doesn't make any sense what Lex says unless it's like, oh, they're concentrating on what they want their world to be.
Makes perfect sense, and I can't imagine there being another explanation for it.
Yeah, they just don't show it well. Yeah, like there needed to be like something else happening with them. Like if they were holding hands, as goofy as that would be, I feel like it would do more to show that.
Maybe a fucking Guardians moment. It worked there.
Yeah. I was just about to say it's very Guardians. Yeah,
it's just weird. It's just a weird lineup shot. Otherwise,
yeah, I think all of it works for me though. It all worked. I didn't, like I said, I didn't mind that Oliver wasn't like throwing punches and like just like fucking destroying Anti-Monitor because it was also well handled.
He's doing his.
I still would have liked to see that, but it was still
he's
cool.
Doing his "I'ma grab you, you're gonna grab me," and boom, magic.
Right. Even though I would have liked like a Frieza versus Goku thing where they're just like fucking destroying everything.
Listen, I'm gonna quote Guggenheim here. They had the budget of whatever Avengers catering budget was.
Exactly. I get that. I understand.
That's a great line.
That kind of transparency is really respectable.
Also, if they break that suit, Anti-Monitor's wear, they have to replace it, and I'm sure that costs a lot of money. So again, I understand.
And this scene has a bunch of great lines, and then in like the aftermath, oh my god, I'm so bad at remembering his name that plays Lex.
Jon Cryer.
Jon Cryer said this was his favorite scene to film because they were in active quarry, so there were actual explosions going on while they were filming, and I get why he liked it because he gets to actually do action shit for once, and he's like, "Ooh." He's like, no one could take over this universe besides me. Just kablam, kablam. And he's like,
he does get to have the time of his life as a fucking superhero.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a hero.
He's like, pew, pew, pew. He's like, oh, this is what it's like to be a hero. It's kind of thrilling.
He has cemented himself as maybe my favorite modern Lex Luthor.
He's I think he might be close to hands down the best Lex Luthor.
Possibly.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's so much fun. Like, and again,
between this and the end of Supergirl last season, like
he's having so much fun with it that it's just like he's so charismatic.
After you're dealing with Charlie Sheen for however many years, wouldn't you want to let loose and have some fun a little bit?
I would want to shoot things in my hands.
He gets to also do what he hasn't like. He's never been the bad guy.
He's always the sap. He's a lovable sap.
Yeah, he's Ducky forever, and now he gets to be, oh, I'm not Ducky. I'm the fucking bad guy.
I'm Lex motherfucking Luthor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think we're going to spend the most time on one cameo anyway, so... Oliver fends off the anti-monitor and kind of, he doesn't destroy him, he kind of just dissipates him. He kind of just sends him away.
We get the speech at the end of this
and basically... Yeah, he says like there it is, like a new universe is about to be born, and it kind of ends on like a big flash of light, doesn't it, or something like that?
Well, no, hold on, you're forgetting that Flash and or Barry and Sarah get this really kind of tender moment with him before he dies.
Yeah, Oliver laser beam eyes this guy, and then they're like, "Where's Barry?" And Kate's like, "Over there," or "Where's Ollie?" It's like, "Oh, the giant light show." Yeah, Sarah's like, "Take me there, Barry."
And there's sort of a handing of the torch thing. It's sort of it's a precursor to that scene I was talking about from the next episode.
And I do love the line when he calls back to the last episode. It's like, dying is the easy part. Heroes live on. I was like, oh, that's good. Like, I like how that is. And Sarah gets her moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they get to close out and he's teary-eyed and he's dying. And he's like,
well, it dies with a tear falling. He dies with a tear falling down his cheek.
Yeah.
He's good at dying. I'll say that. Like he's
very good at dying.
There are
and next episode.
Yeah, and then the next episode opens in a way that I know had the end call just fucking cackling.
Okay, real quick. This opens up with Kara waking up on her fucking couch, like very startled, and she doesn't like her glasses are crooked. And Alex walks in like, "Good morning, Kara," and Kara goes, "Blah!" and just fires her fucking eyelashes.
I'm so sorry.
Kara's just like, what the fuck just
I
happened?
love Kara.
She's
So
like,
much.
it's like, oh my god, like there was the crisis on the multiverse. It's like, was that the movie you were watching last night?
It's like, cool dream, Kara. Anyway, let's go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be late to the ceremony. There, and no, she gets the call from Dreamer, and it's like, where are you? I'm trying to save your seat, and the person from like WCBS or whatever is eyeballing me really hard. And she like ports there. She's like, oh, I'm glad I'm here. We're giving out the Nobel Peace Prize to the person who owes it the most, Lex Luthor.
She's like, what?
She like shits her pants. She's like, oh my god, oh my god.
She's like looking at Dreamer. She's like, say it right now.
Isn't it great when someone gets it that really deserves it?
Does he know? Yes, he know.
No, but I love that he makes direct eye contact with Karen, gives her a wink.
Winks at her. Yeah, and that lines right up with everything you just said about what they did during Oliver's fight, was that they focused on what they wanted. So Lex Luthor becomes the most important man on the planet who's won like 6 Nobel Peace Prizes.
Yeah, and then we go to the DO, I believe.
Owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is when Kara's like, what the shit is going on? And her sister's like, no, he's not a bad guy. He's the greatest guy.
And he's our boss.
He's also your boss.
And then she looks down, and it's like the United States Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs, a Luthor subsidiary. And I was like, oh.
So to save time, I guess let's just go into like how we see changes like right away, because Kara goes to fight. There's someone causing trouble.
Weather Witch.
Like Weather Witch should have been your first clue. Like, the fuck is happening? Because she's a Flash villain, and she's fucking fighting her. And Barry shows up and just fucking knocks her out. And he's like, "Sorry, that's one of mine."
And they're both like, "What are you doing here?"
And then someone walks up and asks for a picture.
That's Marv Wolfman.
That's Marv Wolfman.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he says, my name is Marv. Yeah.
But
super
everyone's
old hearing aids.
Yeah, but everyone's been placed in the same Earth from the CW shows. It's now called Earth Prime. And Martian Manhunter does the plot a massive service by saying, "I've gone from city to city and started psychic headaching everybody into remembering the Anti-Monitor."
Thank God.
Oh, but like some of the scenes where like he does it, because when he goes to, because we get the weird flash where in the that they random people find Nash Wells in the sewers, and then we cut to the Flash thing, and he's just like, was it like Caitlin's like, oh, he's like, oh, hold on one second, this guy's an asshole. Here, let me tell you how. Touch. Holy shit, fuck this guy.
This is all your fault. Now, okay, here's the thing. I want to talk about Nash Wells real quick, because this is really interesting, because Harrison Wells was a constant across the multiverse. And if a bunch of Earths have now been converged, is Nash, like, does he conceivably take the place of a Harrison Wells in this Earth? Or
maybe? I think that's kind of like when we get to the end of this, we need to talk about where this multiverse is.
Yeah.
So I think we should like start ripping through this. But like, and he touches him, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm such a dick. Did you fix it?"
Yeah.
Kinda. And it's like,
and then we get, because it's a Legend episode, we get
who is it? Ava and
Citizen Steel talking from a room the entire time.
Yes, they're like, "Oh, did you get roped into another crossover?" Maybe.
So good.
No, but we have to remind ourselves before we do that. There's a great scene where Sarah wakes up. Sarah kind of stumbles around in Star City.
Oh, she's in a random alley, almost gets hit by a car.
She goes to the Arrow bunker.
No, she goes to the bar first, and she's just like, "Oh, Ray, meet me at the bar." And that's where John Jones shows up, and it's like, he's like, "Oh my god, I was super."
Yeah.
Yeah, then they go to the bunker, which is like a devastating scene, kind of.
Oh,
because okay, I was a little lost. Like, at this point in this Earth narrative, has Oliver already died?
Yes.
Well, so yeah, that's an interesting thing. I do wonder if we're gonna.
No, I think what it is, it's either Oliver died or it's that Oliver never existed.
No,
no, that's impossible because the president talks about it.
Never mind. You're right. Yes.
It's not that he didn't exist. I think that Oliver's just gone. Like he just isn't there.
Yeah. He
and
just
like,
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and they're like, what's going on? And then when John Jones, like, they're like, oh, like Wild Dog is like, yeah, he's here. We all have a headache. And what's her name is like fucking destroyed.
Yeah, Dinah's.
Anna. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
She's broken, which is, I was like, oh.
Yeah. It makes me wonder what they're going to do, because there's a lot of things that they can do with this. They could do like a flashback of, I don't know, season 3, and Oliver's like comic book Oliver. Like he could be really cheesy and like goofy. They could do a lot of stuff with this and like establish a whole different version of the show than what we already know, and be like, that didn't happen. It actually happened this way. Let's go rewrite our own continuity if they wanted to.
They could, but I don't think that's gonna. It seems like everyone's continuity from the shows exists.
Yeah,
except for
there's
a
just
couple
going to
of
be
like
small change.
There's like 2 big changes though.
Yeah,
that we see at the end of the episode.
Well, like this is something I've brought up before. They have to account for the fact that Clark has been Superman for like who knows how long.
Well, they do say in the thing that Oliver's like the first, quote unquote.
Right.
But we also know that Batman has been existing even before this for like a long time, but he's a rumor. And I guess Clark has been Superman for maybe like, say, 6 years.
This is a rabbit hole because we don't. These are questions they're going to answer. They have to. So I guess
they're going to answer them eventually.
Speculation would lead us to 2 more hours of talk.
Yes.
I know. Oh my god, that's another episode.
Yeah, basically what happens is they get an alert that some shit's going on, and then they go to downtown Star City, and what is it? Of course.
And this episode becomes a full-on Legends episode at this point.
Yes.
Because Bebo fucking shows up.
And then we get Ray showing up and performs the greatest selfie in mankind's history.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, and Sarah's like, here, do this thing to trip him up. Oh, and then was it Rory's like, oh, I would do this, and like if I was doing it's a distraction. Then we get the throwaway of Sargon the Sorcerer. He's like a big time DC villain, kind of.
He's like, you have somehow managed to stop Sargon the Sorcerer. I was like, that's the fucking best way to use that character.
He's in like a goofy tuxedo with a cape, and I was like,
he gets one punch. He gets fucking electrocutioned.
Yes.
Yeah,
I also like the scene where Sarah's like, it's a long story, and Barry's like, oh, you mean that time where you felt a time demon and you all had to transform into that giant Bebo? Okay, it's not a long story.
Yeah, well, there's so many lines in this episode, because we also get like the thing because after this they have a celebratory thing, and Wild Dog is pouring champagne, and it Mick's like, what is that? It's alcohol. Oh, remember when we used to have a Rory? Yeah. And then we move on.
That's the weirdest thing. We had a Rory once. Where did he go? I don't fucking know.
I feel like that's directly because I tweeted Greg Berlanti, what the fuck happened to Sandman? Or it's Ragman.
I'll fucking show you. I'll put that shit in the crossover.
Apparently, I looked it up. There is like a thing that they explain. I can't remember. There's some villain that collects masks at some point in one of the seasons, and he has Ragman and Huntress's mask. And that's their hand wavy of we're never seeing them again.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah.
The episode is that the fucking Anti-Monitor is not dead, and he's coming.
Nash shows up, and he's like, my thing is beeping.
Yeah,
that's coming.
Yeah. So, and then basically the rest of this episode is preparing for the Anti-Monitor and fighting the Anti-Monitor.
Well, yeah, we have 2 teams. We have Nerd Team and Fight Team. And then
but Nerd Team gets a heavy hitter that they get 2 heavy hitters because they have Killer Frost, and then once Shadow Demons start infiltrating Star Labs, like Black Lightning's like, I'm here too.
Yeah, because it's Ryan Choi and
like Alien Man call me up to speed. It's been a weird day.
Yeah, and Nash. Yeah, and then Rory and Killer Frost are arguing, and Black Lightning's there, and then he does like the sneer.
Yeah. But they're working on what's essentially like, is an atom bomb. They're going to throw it at the Anti-Monitor, and they're going to shrink him infinitely until he basically doesn't exist, and he's going to continue shrinking until fucking the universe explodes.
He's in the Atomverse. I call it the Microverse. That's a better name, but that might have. What does he say? That might have like
copyright issues.
Yeah.
Which I think is a Rick and Morty reference.
Yeah, because the Microverse is what it is called in DC Comics.
Okay.
But in Rick and Morty, they say Microverse and Miniverse and like
Miniverse. But that's their plan, and so everybody starts fighting shadow demons, and then the fucking Anti-Monitor shows up, and he is completely 3 to 4 people all have pistols.
Because it's Wild Dog, Diggle,
Danvers.
Wait, he's got a force field. Pew pew.
pew. Danvers. Batwoman's flinging batarangs, and then Sarah's just standing there.
I love it so much. It's so goofy.
But I do like that Superman and Supergirl are just like flying around, like eye lasering. It's like nothing. And if you look at that scene, my favorite is Martian Manhunter, who isn't changed. It's just the actor. And he just has his hands on his head like,
It's some good stuff. It gets real goofy in there for a second.
And then the Anti-Monitor throws up a beam that looks like the moon and turns into the Super Ozaru.
Yeah.
No. He gets some of that Rita Repulsa nonsense.
So, and this is a serious question. Do we think it was a good idea for Anti-Monitor not to be dead yet?
What they're doing is the promise they're following the comics, and that's what happens in the comics. They kill him with Supergirl when Supergirl dies, and then that's where he has the goofy helmet, and then he returns. When I said like the picture where it says like "Call me Monitor," he returns in that other look. Okay. So they have like 2 finales, kind of, in the book.
Hello.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm just.
It was a little goofy because it kind of made the Oliver end scene weird.
Yeah, and I mean, as a Legends episode, it works. But just for the purpose of this story, I don't know if it was necessary. It would have been funnier if like he came back in the first 10 minutes and they just dispensed with him.
They just jobbed him.
Yeah, they were just like, "Fuck you! We already did this. We're done with you."
Well, they kind of do it very quick, and we just get a little bit of fighting. It's much more on the Bebo thing. Like he's only around for like 2 breaks.
Yeah. He's there for a very short time, and I almost feel it's unnecessary because I would have liked more time of establishing this new
universe.
Continuity.
I would have liked if this whole episode was nothing but like the new status quo.
Just call it Crisis Aftermath.
Yeah, like they don't need a thing to happen.
That's what the entire next week of TV shows is going to be basically.
Right. And I get that. But I think like even establishing even a little bit more status quo and then leaving it off for those individual shows, that's just my preference. I think they could have done just the Bebo or Anti-Monitor. They could have taken a pick and just like established a little bit more specifically about the Prime universe.
Anti-Monitor possesses Bebo would have been my choice.
Yeah. And even the answers about Harry and that stuff.
Yeah, because we get very little, because we should like go towards what like happens afterwards. So they beat him, and then we basically get a kind of once over of the universe with this presidential speech. And so Diggle has now his daughter back, Sarah.
Yeah, baby Sarah's back. Flashpoint's been undone.
So are they twins? Because he has the other kid.
I would assume so.
Because that's not Connor, right? That's Diggle Jr.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they're either twins or, again, like some continuity is different, and Lila took off from Argus for a season or something.
Yeah. And then we get the Clark and the Superman and Lois things like, oh, your sons are being erect. He's like, the boys are being erect. Boys? Because now they went from John to John Plus. We don't know.
I mean, I would assume John and Jason, just for why not?
And then apparently Kara and Kate are besties because they're hanging out on the couch. Yeah. And this is where my wife had an issue where it was like, it's weird because they cut to Barry and who's the one? Oh, Barry and
Sarah.
No, it's what's her name, Killer Frost.
Oh,
yeah.
Are watching it, and it's like my wife was like, "Where the hell's Iris? It's his goddamn wife."
But I think Caitlin's more important to the overall theme.
Yeah, and like I got her argument. Like I was just like, yeah, but she had 2 episodes, and she's like, it's his wife. She died. Like the universe was erased. Why is he not with his wife? And it's a one shot, and I feel like I was like, yeah, I kind of get the idea of like, why wouldn't he be with his wife?
Mm.
And I also felt like
it's a good question.
Why did we not get a final shot of? And I know she wasn't signed on for anything, but like Felicity. Yeah.
Because it is exclusively a contract thing. Because they said she signed on for that many seasons, and then that was it. So to hire her back probably would have been expensive. And so they got her to do a 1 episode for Arrow. And honestly, her coming in for the end of Arrow, I'm okay with. Like, I think her showing up here would actually take away from her showing up at the end.
Because I feel like they have to explain the end of, was it last season of Arrow?
1,000% is going to happen. I'm not worried about that at all. But beat Antimonitor. We get a quick preview of the new status quo, and my favorite thing about this episode is that we cut back to the hangar that Barry inherited from Harrison Wells.
Yeah,
that's a lot of H's there.
That's in like season 1 or 2.
Yeah, and they used it during Invasion.
Yeah.
And we finally, first of all, this one-ups the movie in every fucking way because it's a big ceremonial thing. Like they have Oliver's costume there.
They have the fire shaped like an arrow.
Yeah. Oh, and I love the fact is like Black Lightning's like, I never met him, but he sounds like a good guy. He like pats his shoulder and he's like, why'd you put this in an abandoned building? What's up with that?
And he's like, should we call you, should we need each other in case the world's in danger? And he's like, hold up, how often does that happen? And they're
like, all just look around.
Oh, it's like that. Okay.
Ruby Rose is like, I get it. I was the new kid last year.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so it's like that.
Yeah, but then Barry unveils the table, and it's fucking awesome. It's got a big old yellow star in it. All the chairs have the logos for all the heroes.
Yeah, this is a Star Labs facility. No one knows it exists. And here's this. It's got all these computer chairs, like the one I'm sitting in right now. That was the other thing. I was like, I'm like, could you have spent more than $200 on a table and chairs?
I was thinking that too. Like it is all very clearly on a budget, but I think it does work the way that they put the scene together.
That works because clearly the place is also still in the process of being like they're still turning that place into a facility they can all hang out at.
The symbol is a D with a star.
Yeah, it's like a shield. I have it actually
with a star or something, right?
Yeah,
that's one of the comic logos.
It's one of the mini. Yeah, it is very. So it's pretty authentic.
A Supergirl chair, Superman chair, Black Lightning chair, Flash, White Canary, Martian Manhunter.
And Oliver's chair is the honorary one because and they have his chair positioned to where his outfit
Batman.
is actually facing that point in the table. Yeah.
Yes. He's at the head of the table, and then we get
the fucking weirdest piece of fan service ever. The fucking Gleek the monkey.
I looked it up online. Apparently, Berlanti had them in the script at one point.
Yeah, they had.
He had the Wonder Twins in the script.
I am so glad they're not in this because they are okay. You want people to get away from the jokes from the 70s and 80s of like Aquaman just talks to fish. Like the Wonder Twins take everyone back 45 years because they're the corniest fucking thing.
Can I do some defense of them? Because they are currently a comic book that is currently running. They're part of the Wonder Comics that I think is Bendis. And I really like the idea of them is that they are basically 17, 18.
Okay, that's comic people. Like
they are interns at the Hall of Justice.
Right.
And then he's talked about, it's like, oh, they're kind of up in the air. Whoever wants to play with them is like, my preferred place is that they are in the Superman show as like he's trying to deal with them. And that there's sometimes babysitters for his kids.
I think that could work. Here's the thing. I don't want them shoved into the end of this show. That's what I don't want.
No.
Plus,
I
I feel
think
like
there are people out there who know about
seriousness
Super
with
Friends.
just experience.
There are people out there who know about Super Friends, don't read comic books, who watch these shows, who would see them and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Right. This is not where you want to introduce them. Like the
Yeah,
people who are already highly suspect of this universe, they don't need to see them shoved into the end of this. Putting them in Legends order, like you said, Superman, that could be interesting. But yeah,
because like
I think
I will say, like, I understand you, but like what they are doing, because they borrow a lot from like even Supergirls when like doing stuff from current comic book continuity.
Right.
So what they've been doing is interesting, and one of the things they've been doing is they deal with what's called the League of Annoyance. So basically,
Okay.
Lex Luthor pays a bunch of F-list villains to basically just cause problems that like annoy the Justice League and make them waste their time, so that the real like villains can do stuff.
Right. I mean, that would be funny.
That's what they deal with, and they're very much
Yeah.
and it's Jan and Zan, and Zan is a moron, and Jan is the brains. And I was like trying to explain to my wife, it's like, yeah, she can turn into any animal, and he can turn into different types of water.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a stinger, and we really shouldn't look too much into it yet.
Yeah.
But it officially, I think, closes with an inverse of the Monitor speech, which is like, first there was nothing, a single black infinitude, and then the multiverse happened, and the Age of Heroes is born. But it's Oliver narrating, it's awesome, and we get a big montage of curious footage.
Yes, we get. I have the list here, so it's Earth 2, which is now for the Stargirl series, so which seems to be the Justice Society.
2 also had that weird like noir like old-timey look to it. Every time we went to it, like everyone's dressed in like fucking like gangster attire.
Yeah.
So I think that fits the way that looks.
Well, we'll circle back to it, but like, yeah, Earth 9 is Titans, Earth 12 is the Green Lantern movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. That's not what that is.
Oh,
that
no,
is,
that is a clip from the Green Lantern movie.
No, I get that. I just watched that piece of shit.
I know.
What that is a very, very cheap way of filming Green Lightning. It's fucking 3 hours of this fucking show.
I think it's a little bit both. It's a little bit of both, I would say. I think you're correct.
Tease for the show, but it's
easier to use footage of a bunch of
later than to film.
I also think it's a nod to like that's where the guys who made this thing started.
1000%.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I do think that I think it certainly helps. It makes people aware that Green Lantern's going to be a thing, and we're going to be a part of it.
Yeah. Earth 19 is Swamp Thing, which we get like a look at Swamp Thing,
which gave me a little bit of hope as I was watching.
Yeah, I think they would include it if there wasn't a plan to bring it back somewhere.
21 is Doom Patrol, which is already renewed for season 2. Mm-hmm. And 96, we get the new filmed Brandon Routh back in the OG Superman costume.
Yep.
Flying in space,
if that was
at the camera.
Now, if that was CGI color correction, then there's no reason to think in this any longer. If that was a new suit that they made for that 2-second shot, that's suspect.
I think it's the original suit from that movie. I don't think
the Kingdom Come logo is on there with a new background.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
It was the Kingdom Come logo.
Oh, and I'm guessing it's that suit, and they color corrected it.
Well, we don't know.
They could have been. I mean, it could be that they just made one where it's yellow or everywhere green, so they can replace the colors and make it whatever they wanted. Yeah. So who knows? Yeah. And then Lou, what was the next one? Or was
that's the final one. That's all we see.
Yeah.
But like to circle back to Earth 2, because which we'll see in these things is like, so the Laurel we've had. So was it Black Siren?
Sugenheim. It's going to be answered.
Yeah, because it's like there's no. I don't think that congeals with this new Earth 2.
And like I said, if we go into what the possibilities are in fine details, we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, the biggest thing we need to talk about as far as what this means for the future of this franchise is the Ezra Miller cameo.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm glad we skipped over it because it's more important we talk about it now. Apparently
massive.
that was a call from Warner Brothers, not CW to the higher ups. That was something that Warner Brothers called and asked for specifically to have Ezra Miller do it.
Exactly.
Which,
I think what ended up happening
says to me that the people at Warner Brothers are starting to realize that more synergy across these brands is better for the brand overall.
I think it goes further than what Guggenheim had said was Guggenheim had come out and been like, yeah, Warner Brothers called me and they're like, hey, we know you rapped and you're in post-production. Can you play Ezra? He's like, yes. But you rapped. Right. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We'll do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, of course you say yes. Well, it's
like we said,
if a god asks you, "Are you a god?" You say yes.
And we talked about it like forever ago. It's like of the only people we said like it was either gonna be Ezra or Zachary Levi, and we were right. There's only the two of them that would honestly even do it.
Did any of us think it would happen?
No.
I thought a version of this might happen but that was when I thought Infinite Crisis was farther down the road. When I was like
in my wildest dreams that I imagined this would happen.
What I can think that happened is that Ezra, in order to keep the Flash movie alive, pushed for this.
I think that
is why this happened.
I think they're trying to generate interest in that movie.
Yes.
And this was a brilliant idea.
I think there was a meeting and somebody said, well, stuff is going on the Flash show right now, and that's the biggest like boost of positivity for this movie that we can get if we can harness that some way. Is like, why don't we do a cameo that seems like a perfect moment? So they did it, and I would say it's worked in their benefit automatically. Like, I don't see a way that movie happens and people aren't immediately behind it. The only way to sort of cement that further is if he mentions this in that film, if he addresses this. I think
it's important because in their interaction, Grant Gustin Flash says, well, you're the Flash too. And Ezra goes, Flash. The Flash. Yeah,
right.
Because he doesn't have the name yet.
Yeah. And the way you call that back is he's talking to Victor, and Victor's, the Flash, where'd you get that name from? And he's like, I met a guy, or something like that, or I something to that effect. Somebody gave it to me.
Here's the thing: this is the equivalent of, I would say, like Thor or Captain America showing up in Daredevil.
Yeah.
And Marvel didn't fucking do that, and DC finally got like an actual thing over on them as far as their representations of their brands go by allowing this mix up between your movie universe, which is the big budget Hollywood stuff, and the smaller TV stuff.
Yeah, I mean the difference here is that nobody on either sides of that hates each other with a burning passion. But
exactly,
I think
that worked in their favor.
The other best thing about the whole Ezra cameo is that literally the only people who knew were probably like Guggenheim, Grant,
and everybody on set that day. Yeah,
and everybody on set. No one in the other cast knew what was happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed part of it, but like, can we talk about how they looked next to each other?
Yeah, you sort of said, I don't know if you said it while we were on air because long. You didn't think that Ezra looked too great.
Well, I think it shows, and I like the comments on like how they were commenting on each other's costumes.
Your costume looks breathable. Yours looks very safe.
So
yeah, and I feel like them next to each other. I was like, yeah, this just shows how much I don't like that the movie design even more. I'm like, he looks so goofy. Like,
yeah, the movie design has actually grown on me a lot.
Me too, but I still think it's like. Here's the thing. It's the absence of the lightning bolts on the helmet that makes it look bizarre because it just looks like he's wearing a fucking helmet.
Yeah,
he's in like a fancy like dirt bike costume.
The suit doesn't have any accents to it. It's just plating, so it doesn't look that special.
Also,
and like it has a backstory that is cool, but it's never addressed in that Justice League movie.
I was gonna say, like, based on their conversation, does he not know his superhero name is the Flash?
No, and here's the thing. I'm okay with that, him not actually having a name yet, because they keep it very vague as to how far into things he is. And, it's not until you get to the moment where they're like, I've never done battle. You realize that he's basically like pushing people out of the way. He's like helping people who are about to get hit by a bus or people who are maybe getting mugged, but he's not really into the whole supervillain thing yet. And it's interesting if this is just like right after Justice League. I could maybe see him still not having a name yet. It is weird if he doesn't have a name yet, or if he hasn't picked one. Especially seeing as Lex Luthor was able to make logos for him.
Lex Luthor made a press junket for everybody.
Uh-huh.
And it is interesting that he named just like, and Victor said I couldn't do this or something. I was like,
I want to go back and watch Justice League to see what that's referencing.
I don't think it's referencing anything.
I think it's just like I think they're saying, I think it's telling us, oh, him and Victor, like they're friends, like they hang out.
That's what I got from it.
With rumors
makes sense.
Yes, and well, there were rumors. This is fucking years ago, before Justice League even came out, where one of the first movies that was supposed to come out was a Flash and Cyborg movie, where it's just the two of them going on adventures, being like doing buddy cop stuff, and that was the thing for a while. And I don't know if that movie is actually happening, but I assume Victor will be in the Flash movie. I would.
Well, if they're doing Flashpoint, Cyborg's a big part of Flashpoint, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
And again, if that movie ever gets goddamn made,
right? Well, here's the thing. That's part of why that's the thing that I came out of Crisis with the most like positivity. It's like you don't like Connor said, you don't show that clip of Swamp Thing unless you think that there's some more life to breathe into that.
See, as weird as it is, I feel like there was more positivity going into those shows. It's like, oh, these are advertisements. Like, here's Stargirl. It's a new show coming out. Here's Doom Patrol. Has a season 2. It's going to be on HBO Max. Swamp Thing. Here's the thing we spent way too much money on because of a clerical error. And then it's like, but we don't get, like, the DCEU doesn't get a thing like that. So it's more like it gets that awesome scene, and then he fades away. It's like, I was like, this could be seen as a cool way to end that universe forever.
Well, Arlen's interpretation of it is that it is Barry from the Justice League universe experimenting with the Speed Force for the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's him, like just like first figuring it out. It's before he's Bruce, you need to save.
Could this also be a way to be like, hey, the DCEU is dead. This is how we erased it. Wonder Woman 84 is a new continuity.
Sure.
And Aquaman's a different continuity. Like,
why not?
We used the TV show to erase this.
Honestly, the death of the universe and then bring it right back is a perfectly fine explanation for Ben Affleck not being Batman anymore. And all you have to say is like, yeah, Bruce became the Batman at a different point in his life because the universe was fucking rebooted.
And also, it adds
or that he was born a different year.
Legitimacy
like
to both things. It makes them both seem more important.
Which is it's the irony of it that it's like the TV is giving the movie universe legitimacy.
I posted about this on Facebook. Is that one of the parts of the fun about Crisis is that because of what they showed you, you can conceive in your head, and there's no wrong answer to it. Really, is like, is it possible that Christian Bale's bat looked up and it was hit with an antimatter wave? Like, was the Joker's Earth wiped out from Todd Phillips?
Sure.
I was trying to.
Well, as Christian Bale was having crazy sex with Catwoman, yes, he did see a red wave.
So there was a comic book that came out this week that sort of ties in. It was like a Walmart exclusive, and it has a bunch of other Earths in it. So it has like the Earths of all the other, like what do you call it? It has the Wonder Woman 77 show in it. It has I think it has stuff from like Sherlock's universe, because apparently Mad Hatter is in that. It has like a meeting of Lex Luthors from all the universes. It has Earth D, which is where it's like the more diverse, where it's like a black Superman. It has the Fleischer universe in it.
Anyway, I think what I was getting at is like, if if the implication is there, they might as well roll with it and just say like, yeah, like this affected everything. Like every media project we've ever had that is a live action, an adaptation of the DC works were technically canonical within this event. And
there's
awesome. No reason to veer away from that. Like there's every reason in the world to embrace it.
Well, it's what they've done in the comics with not just the comics, but the comics/animated stuff. Forever, when Grant Morrison did his Multiversity, they included a bunch of the Dini-verse was included in that. Like that is a universe. Yeah. Which is like where it goes all the way up to Batman Beyond. And I can't remember, there was like a couple other ones I can't remember that he included in there. There weren't.
Right.
Yeah. So it has happened.
It'd be cool if I don't know, Young Justice season 4, if they addressed it, if they were like affected by.
Yeah. Well, actually, because they're like in a weird pocket universe. That cartoon. Yeah.
Can you imagine in the show that like somehow they animate like the people from the Flash onto like Harley Quinn?
Oh, that'd be great.
But they've done the animated stuff. They've had like what, 5 shows in the CW.
Yeah, they have these animated CW sort of side quels and spin-offs that are a great vehicle. Yeah,
because there's a Vixen. There's like 2 seasons of Vixen, Constantine. I've seen those. There's the
Ray,
the Ray.
Deathstroke just came
I have
out.
not seen, and there's Deathstroke, which I have not seen.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think there's a lot of possibilities with this, with using this event as a base and a reason to say like, well, I mean, things can be different now, just by referencing this show, these shows. And honestly, if they do, how fucking cool is it that the little players got to be the ones that did something massive?
Yeah, just that,
I'll be very curious to see what happens when all the shows come back next week.
Yes. I mean, like, because it's not just going forward. It's like they connect they connect to Batman 66. So there is a through line from Batman 66 to the unknown future of the DC live action universe.
Yeah, and like I said, there's no reason to shy away from it. I think they should just run with it.
Yeah. Go, embrace it, lean into it. Like, and it doesn't need to be that big. It can literally be, again, in this hypothetical Flash movie that I'm far more sure will happen now. It's Ezra having a dream, a flash of him meeting Grant, and then
it doesn't even need to be the
Red Sky.
Him and
then
him and Victor are hanging out. Like Victor's doing something, and Barry pops in. And it's like, you will not believe what just happened.
Yeah,
and that's all it needs to be. It's like, I met you want to believe what just happened? I met another version of myself. That's it. Like that's all you need.
It doesn't even need to be that gratuitous, but it's enough for you to be like, oh, things are different. And it doesn't, and nobody from outside the shows, nobody who hasn't watched the shows needs to really like dig into it too much if you do it subtly and in a way that's interesting.
And it's there if you need it.
Right. So I hope that the right lessons are taken from this and nobody makes the wrong decisions, and Warner Brothers isn't like, you know what, you should do like 3 of these crossovers a year, and that would really help.
Well, I think that's a good point to like say, like they said, like Berlanti has and Guggenheim said like they're going to go smaller, which makes a shit ton of sense because you can't go bigger than Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And I've said that actually, realistically, like 2 smaller crossovers a year, I think would be more satisfying for everyone.
And I think you can't even really do Infinite Crisis with like their universe.
There's some I'd rather them not touch, but I do want to transition into where we rank this among the crossovers.
Yeah.
Oh, this is in like the upper echelon. Like I would say this is easily in my top 3. Like
I love this. I love every piece of it, but as far as being more fun, I think Crisis on Earth X kind of edges.
Yeah, I think this is second below Crisis on Earth X. Crisis on Earth X is the gold standard.
Yeah, I agree.
It would depend on who you're like. If it's based on, all right, I want to show you something to get you into this universe. I think Crisis is more like to anyone applicable.
I
Which
will,
makes sense,
like,
'cause
I
now
will
it's
use
fair.
a
This-
real
you
world.
mean-
I will use a real world application of this. Okay, and Arlen's gonna know exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. We showed
Joe?
Joe the church fight from Earth X, and he was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you showed, I'm trying to like, if you were like, if you were talking to an old school nerd, like
Mhm.
an older nerd, you're like, dude,
Yeah.
like this, like they did it, they connected it all. Then you would show them this. Like, I feel like this is like, because it's like it ties in everything.
As
You're
like their first thing ever.
Well, like I'm just being like you cannot believe what they did. Like it's what I keep telling me. Like every time I've done this, like,
Sure.
you
I
can't
would still
believe
say for me,
what
this
they
and
did.
Earth X are still neck and neck in terms of the best. And then
Yeah.
right underneath
think-
Infinite Earths is the Flash musical episode because that's just a guiding light.
Interesting.
I do like the Flash musical episode, but like I think Earth X is much more streamlined.
Yeah.
It moves faster and there's more going on.
Yes.
It's also
Yes.
isn't it only like 3 episodes?
It's 3 or
No,
4.
No, it's,
but,
it's
like,
4
it's also-
episodes.
It's also
Four.
like there are at least 2 action set pieces per episode that are all distinct and they're all fun.
It
Right,
also
and
like the fight
yeah.
scenes make more sense. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's arrow people against arrow people. It's not like
Right.
arrow and guns versus cosmic god.
That has
Right, and
some of
that-
the best
yeah.
hero versus villain stuff because, like, especially the reverse
Mhm.
flash fight through the city that's all being done from their perspective and how they're moving at
Mhm.
a million miles an hour and everyone else is standing still.
Yeah, I
Right.
think like again, if I was showing someone that has no connection to anything, I'm like, this is awesome. Here's a thing. I would show them Earth X, Crisis on Earth X. If it
Yeah.
was like someone who's an OG nerd, I would be like, look
Okay,
at all
okay,
these
yeah.
goodies.
Yeah, I can see that. Earth X is definitely my top, and it's because of criteria I've kind of hinted at subtly, which is I want the shows to still be their shows. I still want to be able to see this is an Arrow episode, this is a Legends episode, and this is a Supergirl episode, and I kind of want to see it very clearly. But I don't want it to be so much of an Arrow episode that it's distracting. That's a problem I would ascribe to Invasion, which is why Invasion's sort of like middle
Yeah.
to me.
I think
Um,
Invasion, they
Invasion
didn't
for
know
me
what they
is
were doing
under-
yet.
Invasion for me is underneath the musical episode because I wasn't a fan of the
Yeah.
one with the legends, and I wasn't a fan of the one with that, like the beginning one. Like it's nice to go back to basics, but
You mean the Vandal greatest villain of all time? That episode is what you're talking
okay,
about?
Arlen.
I'm just amplifying the joke.
I would say like the musical
Um,
episode has things because you have like if you're talking to someone that's like completely anti thing, it's like here's an episode where Victor Garber and
Yes.
I can't remember what's
Jesse
his
L.
name.
Martin.
Jesse L. Martin
Well,
get to do a
yeah.
musical. I'm like, okay.
Well, they gave
that's a
all the
selling
people
point.
with singing abilities a song,
'cause-
which is
the 2 people who
Uh,
have done like Broadway productions and
yeah.
2 people like a bunch of people that were on Glee. I would say like
So I would actually, I would
Crisis-
put Elseworlds and Crisis on Earth X above Infinite Crisis.
I don't think I put Elseworlds below Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah, I would.
Elseworlds is far more streamlined than this. I think
I
that's
think
my
Elseworlds has more. I think that acting in Elseworlds isn't as good. Like specifically from like
I'm also not as engaged with the story as I am with Infinite Earths.
Yeah, but I think that's my problem. Is there's a lot going on in it's 5
to me,
episodes, and there's
Earth
a lot
X-
of
Earth X is objectively number 1.
yes. That's what I'm getting at. It's like the efficiency of what they're doing. There's an efficiency in Elseworlds for me that's kind of missing from this. That's why I would put it lower.
I feel like there's some
both
parts of
Flash-
Elseworlds you need to know more,
Yeah.
and because Elseworlds is leading to something else, it kind of makes it less than.
I guess I don't know. Like for me, just the pure comedy of Barry and Oliver being swapped. Like I don't know. That's enough.
Being the Terror
me.
Twins.
Like I think that's enough. Like I would show somebody who doesn't know this universe that episode.
I would
them
say
being
like
body swapped.
Elseworlds is very much the Infinity War to
Yes.
So like it kind of suffers the same problems where it's like it's build up to another thing that you know
Sure.
is coming.
I'm just talking about like entertainment value. I'm trying to really get through this.
We've been
We
going
need to wrap in a few minutes because it's fucking A. I knew this was gonna be big. And we're gonna have to keep it the same way. We're gonna keep it as you have to keep it as is, but we should work on getting out of here before this becomes just too long.
Yeah. So
I was about to say something and like, okay, but the point is,
I would put
really like
both.
it.
Yeah, I would put both Flash Supergirl crossovers above Invasion. No, actually, I would put Invasion. I think Invasion's my least favorite at this point. With time, I actually like the Vandal Savage thing, not just because of Vandal Savage, but there's a lot of good character moments in that crossover.
I think
they really
that
utilize
gets,
the cast.
to me, that gets put ahead because of the talk between Barry and Oliver.
Yes.
When he's like, "Fucking do it!" Like, okay, you did this thing. Like, all right, well, like I told, like that line where he's like, "Barry, go now, fix it."
Yes. I like that, and they utilize everything on up until that point. And then at the very bottom is that first time where they really tried to do a crossover where it was just two disconnected episodes where they both crossed over.
Barry, I'm going to train you. Oh, you got shot by crossbows in the back.
Yes, and even then, if I'm going into those two, the Digger Harkness episode is above that one where he shoots Barry in the legs, because Barry catches Digger's boomerangs in the air, and it's really cool.
I would put in what was it Elseworlds that ended with the weddings? Oh, so no, thing.
Earth X ends with the weddings, and it's really dumb because at the time they did the wedding of fucking Barry and Iris far too early, I would say.
My favorite part of that is like, oh, so we're having a wedding and you guys are just gonna Bogart in on it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah. It's real weird there. Let's
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
I love doing this, but is been a long session.
It's 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So Movie Dumpster's coming back pretty soon, everybody, and we're starting with Pumpkinhead 2. We are having a guest whose name is escaping me at the moment, and I don't want to have to embarrass myself by looking it up. But so we'll be back probably within the next week or so. And then we're moving to bi-weekly, and then we're doing Valentine for Valentine's Day with David Boreanaz and Denise Richards. So Denise Richards is making her second appearance in the Movie Dumpster universe. So hey, stay tuned for that. Outside of that, my plugs are done because I'm tired.
Better talk about Angel a lot.
Lost Hour podcast coming back very soon. Top 10 for the decade and for the last year. All that kinds of stuff. Recently watched. We're gonna do some Akira Kurosawa coming back, going real deep into that old film nerd lore. So look forward to that.
So John and me we do And Now Comics. So we're jumping from 1986 to 1993, and we are going to be reading as a group Venom Lethal Protector. So the next episode next week, we should be doing issues 1 through 3.
Hopefully, yes. And then you can follow me on Twitter, JMScott193.
Yeah, and check out all the comic book news we talk about on there, which has been a bunch of stuff. And then Smallville Chronicles, we're pumping away through season 5. I don't remember where we are at in that. We're almost at the end.
Sorry, just you not remembering where the fuck you are is like the funniest thing about.
It's almost like somebody
that 10.
We have already. Okay, I do remember we've seen 3 people from the Justice League, and we just did the first. I think like not the last episode, but the one before that was the first live action Cyborg, which we're now on to the 3rd.
Counting Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
Doom Patrol's the 3rd. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything, or we can fucking close the book on this?
Tallboy fell asleep. That's it.
So thanks for listening to this whole thing. If you make it through in one fell swoop, thanks for listening. If you get through this in 2 sittings, it's fine with us. This was kind of a big deal for us because it is going to mark the end of regular CW coverage. We want to kind of move on to other things because covering TV is exhausting, and we figured with Crest and Infinite Earths, it was the best way to do that. So if you are a new listener and you came in to listen to this because I'll be promoting the shit out of it, thanks for sticking around. But we'll have some cool new shit for you guys coming up, so stick around.
Yeah. And that's not to say that this feed or this network will not be stuff in the future. Hint, hint, hint. Yeah. Well, that's it.
But with that being said, bye everybody.
Bye.
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 Adios. Jermaine.